#1 San Antonio sports star.
You're pointing at me. Am I supposed to go? I have no idea what's going on. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. And we literally are flying blind. We hear nothing in our headsets. Do you hear something in your headsets, Pledge? Because I hear nothing in mine. So I don't hear the music, don't hear the cues, don't hear me, don't hear Joe, don't hear you. Well, this is weird. And our engineer, he'll be here in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, at some point in time, right? I can hear you, though, Minnix, so that's a good thing.
Well, you're not even wearing headphones. You can hear me in the same room. You don't hear yourself through the headphones.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Can you hear us out there in Radio Land?
I hope so.
I would love to tell you to call in.
Wait a minute. What was that?
That's my computer because I don't have it muted yet, just to see what is going on. Yeah, CD Nuts. Here we go. I hope that played. I have no idea.
Well, we don't know.
I have no idea.
We're going to get through this anyway, somehow, some way. So if you're watching on YouTube, you can let us know that everything's going okay there, if it is. And if you're listening out, driving around San Antonio or however you're listening, let us know. Give us a call here. And because Minnix and I, we feel like we're just talking to ourselves at this point in time.
Which, you look at that, I mean, you know, flying blind, flying deaf is one thing. I would say call, but I wouldn't be able to hear a call right now because our headphone monitors aren't working.
Wow. Well, according to Vince Trevino on our YouTube page, he can hear us.
Okay.
So
good.
I guess we'll keep talking.
And if you're watching on YouTube, lip reading 101. That might be how we do radio in 2024 to start this thing. I have no idea. What did A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson do in here this morning?
Yeah, no kidding, right?
There is nothing like you walk into the studio, you're getting set up. Pledge is like, yeah, I don't hear anything. Well, all right. Call the engineer? Yeah, maybe. I might. All right. And then it gives you the shrug shoulder look like, I have no idea.
No clue.
He just points and says, go. All right.
I know he's been in contact with somebody, so hopefully an engineer will come in here and save the day at some point in time. In the meantime,
I look, Ferguson, Ethan Mann, Nick Trey. Oh, Nick Trey, this never happened in the old studio. That is where you're wrong, my friend. That is where you're wrong. Ethan can hear us. Daryl says we can hear you fine. Jermaine. I got you. All right, so I guess we're good to go. And we're good on the radio as well, according to the Anthony Del Toro, who's apparently watching and listening in both places. So we'll do a show, although I will tell you, this is very unusual and weird because a lot of our show today is sound from Jerry Jones. Now, I don't know how we play the sound if I can't hear it.
We'll draw pictures.
No, we're not going to draw pictures.
We can't draw pictures?
Well, I mean, I guess you could.
Smoke signals.
If you're watching on YouTube and you think about certain gestures, which I guess we're allowed to do certain gestures, but Jerry Jones, in a lot of ways, today kicked the ass of one Mike McCarthy.
He really did.
Yeah, he really did. I mean, used the term poor play design and concept and execution. I said, he really just said that.
Not only that,
the genius offensive coordinator.
He agreed with Troy Aikman, even though Mike McCarthy said he doesn't listen to that and it doesn't affect him. So yeah, it was not a good day for Mike McCarthy when it comes to his boss Jerry Jones, and not exactly a vote of confidence there.
Well, look, Mike McCarthy should send a gift basket to San Antonio Brahmas head coach Wade Phillips. Because Jerry also today admitted he regrets firing Wade when he did.
Yes.
And that's one of the reasons why he's not going to fire another head coach middle of the season.
Well, we say that now. But if the Cowboys, I don't know, lose 3-4 in a row from this point forward, I could see that happening.
Midseason?
Sure.
At that point, what's the point?
Just to get rid of that dude.
And I think that's where Jerry is going to go with that. And he brings up, he let Wade Phillips go, and then Wade goes somewhere and wins a Super Bowl. And a big reason why they won the Super Bowl was the coaching they were getting from Wade Phillips. Jerry said that today on radio. Wade Phillips has told us essentially that before, but you heard it today from Jerry Jones.
And we hope that you can hear it as well, and I guess you can. Pledge is gonna have to do sign language over here. Like, it started, it ended.
Kinda.
This is crazy, y'all. But we're gonna get through this. It's gonna be a fun day. Gonna be a fun day. Because the San Francisco 49ers are about as banged up as they can be. The Brock Purdy slander has started in full. It's all I've heard all day long today.
Well, he's getting the Dak Prescott treatment.
Well, yeah, but he makes
to Dak's world.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind it as much if he made $60 million a year.
It just comes with the territory, regardless of your paycheck. When you're the quarterback, it's all on your shoulders. Guys like you will try to make excuses for him, and paycheck has nothing to do with it. Because he wants to get paid like Dak, but plays like he's been making probably keep that from happening. And, you're a little butthurt earlier today with your boy Baker Mayfield because all of a sudden he remembered he was Baker Mayfield last night.
Did.
Because you put money on him and you lost, so now it's Baker's fault.
Well, I think Baker had money on Baltimore is what I think. I mean, how do you throw an interception to a guy that's in the end zone and you throw it right to the Baltimore guy? And he's like, I didn't see him. How do you not see that dude? I saw him, and he was right there.
Uh-huh. I imagine your vantage point in your living room on a big HD television was probably better than what Baker was looking at.
What I don't understand, and then they get the ball back, and he throws another pick, and it was just downhill from there for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in a lot of different ways, with Mike Evans going out. And then poor Godwin done for the year as well with that dislocated ankle. That's not good for them. They're in trouble as well, injury-wise.
Yeah.
It really makes it sad, Minnix, honestly, because you want the best players out there to have the best product. And now with San Francisco, they've got nobody. Tampa Bay's got nobody. Dallas has been banged up as well. So it's been a tough early part of the NFL season.
You look at injuries, but then you end up with some really good games last night. I mean, Baltimore and Tampa turned into a blowout. And I tell you, man, Baltimore, they get rolling. And they're tough to beat. And I don't know Baker at his best when they were up 10-0, if they would have made it 17, or at one point they could have made it, what was that? Would have been 17.
Would have been 17-7 if he doesn't throw it to the other guy.
And
it was a great pass right to him.
But on the other side, we spent some time yesterday talking about Chargers Cardinals, and I know you're high on the Chargers. They managed 48 field goals last night and still lost.
It's that Texas Longhorn kicker they've got.
Cameron Dicker.
Yeah, they couldn't.
Kicker.
And then it was the Cardinals winning that thing with what do you call that, a walk-away field goal?
Yeah, walk-off.
Walk-off field goal. So they got that. That was actually a decent football game.
But going in, you weren't as excited about that one.
No, I wasn't.
But Justin Herbert is talented as he is. My goodness, getting to the end zone.
Yeah,
I mean that.
You got to score.
I mean, 5 field goals in a game and you lose. But Kyler Murray, that long touchdown run was impressive. I'm a little surprised that turned out to be the better game. I probably watched a little bit more of that one, especially in the second half, than the Baltimore game, just because Baltimore's doing what they want. So is Derrick Henry, and you can't watch Derrick Henry without thinking about what could have been with the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, but would it have been? And that's what everybody's been saying today with the Cowboys' offensive line, and I think it still would have. Because I'm going to tell you this.
Maybe not the same, but better than what the Cowboys have.
Certainly better. But Derrick Henry gained 1,100 yards last year, 12 touchdowns playing for the crappy Tennessee Titans. So I think if he could have done it there with that offensive line, it wasn't as good. I think he would have been just fine. But Jerry had some interesting comments when it comes to one Derrick Henry as well today. No fireworks, really, per se, on 105.3 The Fan this morning. But Jerry, a little more hat in hand, I would say.
Jerry, 2 things about the interview this morning. He did not officially apologize.
No.
Although it kind of sounded like there was an apology there, or you could at least take it that way. But the I'm sorry or I apologize, that never happened. I do have to believe, though, that maybe something happened behind the scenes with an apology, because I just feel like we know Jerry well enough. That's generally what he does. But he did have some fun with the guys about, I can't believe it blew up the way it did. Like, really? Really? You're surprised? No. And he likes them and glad they've been doing it, and they're very comfortable with each other, and emotion is a part of the game.
Yeah, it is. And so, but they're all lovey-dovey again. And Jerry has a couple of appearances on that radio station each week. Stephen Jones is on there as well. But Jerry was open today, and I think his comments were eye-opening, at least how he thinks about his head coach right now. And I think his head coach is – if you're Mike McCarthy, you can't feel good about the way Jerry was talking about you and what you've been doing so far this year.
Yeah, although I'm guessing Mike has heard that in one-on-one meetings with much more colorful language.
Maybe so.
Maybe a little bit more stern of a voice. But I got to say, I thought Jerry was speaking the truth today.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways. Let's talk about it coming up. Halen, our engineer, has finally showed up.
All right.
It's only 12 minutes after the show started. Let's see if he can work on some magic here and fix this stuff.
He's a domer. You got to give him, I don't know if they know how to tell time.
Well, I saw he sent out an email earlier, and he's got the Notre Dame logo in his email signature, which is a load of crap. Go Navy. Beat Notre Dame this week. But fix this crap so we can do a show, Halen. It's the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle.
There's an article on The Athletic talking about the bottom of the Western Conference and how it's going to shape out this year and how they expect the bottom of that conference to look like, basically the non-playoff teams.
I think we're a part of that.
They think so too.
Yeah.
But I'm curious if you think you're in the right region of that conversation.
We're treading water, but we are still in the swirling toilet.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Order for Jennifer C.
Is this my double shot, double cream, double froth, double pump, double hot, double whip, double sleeve?
Yeah. Can you handle that much caffeine?
Hey, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Well, I do now.
Seriously, did you know Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, you just said that.
Did you say I just said that?
Yeah, I'm cutting you off.
Did you say you're cutting me off?
You earn, we match. Unlimited cashback match. See terms at discover.com/credit card.
Awesome Tickets is your personal ticket broker. Big games, big concerts, big events. Need tickets? Stay local and call Awesome Tickets. Stop paying all those crazy fees on ticket apps. Awesome Tickets has your tickets for all the sports, concerts, any city, any event. Avoid the ticket app fees. Since 1994, Awesome Tickets is local and veteran owned. You deserve Awesome Tickets. Call 210-226-5136 or online at awesometix.com. That's awesome, TIX.com.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, my daily fantasy game. In fact, mine and 10 million others are playing this every day because we know what we're doing. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on your sports action. Join me and so many others playing every day. You know why? Prize Picks invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. Look, you know your sports. How many yards is CeeDee Lamb going to get this week? Is Jonathan Taylor going to get 85 or more? You know what you're doing. Go make your play. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which players aren't? You know you play fantasy football. Put your knowledge to work. And remember, use the code Alamo and there's $50 in it for you. Download the app now. Use Alamo. Play with your friends. It's the best way to have fun and get yourself in the game. Remember, Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can add to big payouts. Download the app today. Prize Picks. Run your game.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Twin Peaks Scratch Kitchen scores every time. Dig into hand-smashed burgers, chef-inspired flatbreads, and more at your local lodge.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass. Raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Flo here from Progressive to tell you how you get more than great savings with us. You get customer service access through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
That's a lot of ways I can get in touch with you. I see what's going on here. You can't name favorites, but I'm your #1 customer.
Actually, we offer all our customers these ways to contact us.
I'm sure you give just any customer your personal
company
contact info.
Well, you did call us more than any other customer this year. So in that sense, you are our #1 customer.
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, if you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast. So, for any kind of office,
I'm really going places in my office.
count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
911, what's your emergency?
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In San Antonio, 5 domestic violence calls happen every hour.
The time to end domestic violence in our community is now.
Step out of violence.
You are not alone.
Call 211 for help. Call 911 if it's an emergency.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's winds blowing across a fruited plain, and also your new fire pit, which subsequently sets your gazebo ablaze. It's hard-hitting football, and an even harder-hitting price estimate from your general contractor. That's a star-spangled bummer. It's also around-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. It's a matchup between 2 undefeated conference opponents as the Aggies take on the LSU Tigers. Presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
We go now? All right, apparently we go now. We got our engineer, Halen, in there. And all he's doing is staring at something. He's Joe Reinagel.
Yeah, talking to another engineer.
I'm Jason Minnix. Well, it's bad because he walks in and I don't know, they're talking geek stuff over there. And they're looking at the board and a this and a that. And Pledge is like, no, not that. Nope, not that. Nope, not that. Pledges run through the checklist of what he's capable of doing. And then Halen looks at it and just grabs his phone and starts calling somebody. I don't know. Who'd you call? Jeff Caddell? Is that who you called? And what did Jeff tell you?
Reboot it.
Yeah, Jeff is the big corporate engineer for all of Alpha Media.
Yeah.
Just unplug it and go again.
Well, that's what I used to get told all the time. You have computer problems or something at Ken's TV, and it's like, well, did you reboot it? No, I didn't think of that. Reboot it, and typically that takes care of it.
What do you mean you didn't think about? That's the only thing we're capable of doing.
Well, it is, but
that's the first thing I always go to. If I can't figure something out, just reboot, unplug, whatever. And if that doesn't fix it, then you call somebody.
You got to put in a what do they call it? A ticket.
A ticket.
Yes.
Put in a ticket. And they're fast responding too on those tickets too, because like the other day I was having computer issues, and I don't know, like 3 hours later, the computer guys are in your computer doing this and all that stuff, and I don't know, all they do is reboot from the inside, and I don't know, I can't figure it out.
And it works. It's amazing how that happens,
yeah,
right?
Exactly.
That's good.
Exactly. Oh, your Wi-Fi at the stadium sucks. That's your problem. Okay, cool. Thanks.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
The computer's fine.
Yeah, your Wi-Fi and my Wi-Fi, we were on the same Wi-Fi network, but somehow yours was fine, but mine sucked.
Well, and then the next stadium we went to, I didn't have it, and you did.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on. This technology
fancy
stuff.
Cradle Point doodle thing, or I don't know.
Pledge is intense looking right now.
Well, and that's it. So now I don't even know, because this is a big part of the show where Pledge is heavily involved, and I don't know that he's paying attention. Like, can we actually run our show from here
This is exciting.
And talk about Jerry Jones on 105.3 The Fan. Because I don't even, quite frankly, know if Pledge can hear us in the other room. Oh, he can.
He can.
All right, so can we play cuts here from Jerry Jones? Because he was on 105.3 The Fan this morning.
He's punching a bunch of buttons.
I don't know, some sort of acknowledgement that we can actually do this. All right, so there is a...
Thanks for being patient, y'all.
Absolutely. Jerry goes on 105.3 The Fan this morning. Much anticipated return to the radio after last week. And quite honestly, he said he was surprised that last week got the attention that it did, which I find comical.
That is comical.
And I don't give a damn about any of that stuff, because what he did say, there were some things that he did say that I find very interesting. And let's just jump down to cut number 4, Pledge. In talking about Derrick Henry and him trying to explain while Derrick Henry just wasn't a fit for the Dallas Cowboys.
But the point is that we've, in my mind, we're not playing very good football right now at all. And it's beyond whether or not we have Derrick Henry or not. Derrick Henry is having a career year. I don't know if he'd be having that career year in our situation. And that's really something you really do have to look at, because if he had not had as many carries as our running backs have had, then he certainly probably wouldn't have attained the level of impact he's having. And then he's a real good complement to the type of offense they run. We don't run that type of offense at all. Our situation is more about, frankly, it's more about holding your blocks. It's more about not making mistakes. It's more about, in my mind, the receivers running through a tough man-to-man coverage and running on through it. And, if you will, get away from that. The types of things that we all think we should be looking at is, well, we're designing bad plays, or we're designing bad concepts. The facts are that there's some of that, but there's also some of execution. There's some of the talent. I like our talent. I really do.
All right, you can say you like your talent. Cut that, Pledge, because I just want to focus on what he just said about Mike McCarthy. That literally just came out of Jerry Jones's mouth, or at least did this morning when he was on 105.3 The Fan.
Bad plays and concepts. That's what it comes down to. And he did throw in execution as well. But bad plays and concepts.
It sounds like a coach is about to get executed from his job. And again, he's rambling, but if you missed it, he did just throw Mike McCarthy under the bus.
Well, we're designing bad plays, or we're designing bad concepts. The facts are that there's some of that.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot of that. That's insane, is it not?
Well, it is for the owner of a football team to go on a radio show and just really just throw Mike McCarthy under the bus right there. But look, I mean, it's a criticism I think that a lot of fans have as well. So Mike hasn't been good, but the players haven't been good either. And so it's a combination of everybody's been pretty bad. But Jerry's right. I mean, the play calling's got to be better. You've got to adjust to what you have or don't have. You don't have a running game. So adjust to it. Figure something out. Mike McCarthy is heralded as one of the best offensive play callers in the National Football League. So do that. Design some plays to deal with what you don't have.
You think about Jerry Jones throughout this interview today, and to a degree, he's right. Derrick Henry might not have the same number of yards or touchdowns behind the Cowboys' offensive line that he's having in Baltimore. He also said you got to look at your offense, and do you really need a running back if you're not going to run the ball a lot? Well, we chose not to have a running back because we know Mike McCarthy is going to throw the ball all over the place, even though he fired Kellen Moore because he didn't run the ball enough, right? A very interesting comments from Jerry today when it comes to his head coach and offensive coordinator.
Extremely interesting. But what I don't understand, he said it didn't fit in the system. What system do you have to hand the ball to Derrick Henry and let him run? I mean, I don't understand. Now, look. I mean, you hand the ball to the big fella and you let him run. I'm not sure what the system is that you need for that.
Blocking schemes.
Well, perhaps
you actually have to be committed to running the ball.
You have to
have a high-priced running back.
But you would think he's not high-priced, by the way. So I mean,
more than what they're spending.
Well,
I mean, honestly,
you get what you pay
Derrick
for.
Henry is literally making more money than the entire running back room combined.
I believe that is factual. But he also has to be leading the MVP conversation right now. He has to be. He's almost got 1,000 yards already. And what are we in week 7? And this guy's almost got 1,000 yards. They're talking about him hitting the 2,000-yard plateau again, and he'd be the first running back to do that in 3 years' time. I mean, he did it back in 2020, I believe. Or 4 years' time. Whatever the case may be, the guy's going to do it again. And I don't know. It wouldn't have hurt. My problem is now, honestly, Jason, who gives a damn? It didn't happen. It's not going to happen. So why do we keep bringing it up? Why does everybody keep asking Jerry about, why didn't you sign Derrick Henry?
It's everybody, because what's the term for buyer's remorse when you don't actually buy something? But all indications were in the offseason that Derrick Henry wanted to go to Dallas. He lives there in the offseason. The Cowboys needed a running back, and he would have been a good fit for the Dallas Cowboys. The question in the Cowboys' minds, who apparently didn't even call him, what does he have left in the tank? And apparently they didn't think much. But I got to believe that Troy Aikman, who knows the Cowboys well, probably knows there's some buyer's remorse or whatever you call it when you don't make the purchase. He even mentioned it again last night on Monday Night Football.
There's got to be a lot of teams out there that had opportunities to bring in Derrick Henry that are kind of kicking themselves for not doing it. But he has been an absolute perfect fit for this Ravens attack. This one's batted down.
Yeah, it might have been a
off the hand of Levante David. Can you think of any teams offhand that I'll just throw this out there? The off-season home for Derrick Henry is in Dallas, Texas. Anyway,
yeah, Joe Buck trying to stir the pot. He knew where Jerry was probably, getting that from. And one thing, though, that you keep in mind, Troy says that last night on Monday Night Football. The other day, Troy Aikman questioned route running of wide receivers, including one CeeDee Lamb. Mike McCarthy might have disagreed with that. Jerry Jones does not disagree with Troy Aikman.
Troy knows football. My goodness, he lives it. When he was here, he's one of the most astute and hardworking people I've ever seen at evaluating tape or looking at how a team is playing. Troy's credible, boy, and should be. And not only that, you can imagine he's not just interested in taking a whack at the Cowboys. He feels as much or more than anybody does about the Cowboys. He's very professional. I think he's very fair. And certainly you can look at what we've been doing. You can look at such things as the separation compared to other teams. That's that analytics that you work with today. But fundamentally, I was talking with Mike, and our players need to work on, when they've got tight coverage, they need to work on pushing on through physical contact, pushing on through it. Now, that's just an example. That's not the only thing. But I'm pretty confident that we've got the ability to coach, and we've got some receivers that take the coaching and can improve. That's the big thing, improve.
Improve, he says, and they can push through physically. Their receivers can do that. CeeDee Lamb can do that.
Mm-hmm.
He can do that. Jalen Tolbert can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Look, that's strike 3 against McCarthy, isn't it? We've played 3 sound bites now, and I think every one of them he kind of threw him under the bus. Not good. Not a good day for Mike McCarthy when it comes to his boss.
Well, and again, some of the comments Mike McCarthy made on Monday. Jerry kind of gets that bus rolling over Mike McCarthy one more time.
We need to really, from every one of us, need to evaluate where we've made decisions we'd like to have back. And I'm talking about every one of us. I have to do it all the time. And so Mike has to do that from his standpoint. He said that yesterday. And then he has to ask each player, let's sit down and see what we can do. Players, when they want to work on something, they usually go out with the help of a teammate or sometimes with the help of the entire defense if you're an offensive player. And you work on what it is you're short on. I remember DeMarcus Ware used to stay out after practice with our tackles. Not for DeMarcus, but for the tackle's benefit of being able to basically get out, quote, take his steps, keep his knees bent, and basically be able to handle DeMarcus Ware. Those guys worked on those kinds of things. They do it now. They just need more of it.
They do it now. They just need more of it. So I take by that comment that DeMarcus Ware was actually a leader. He would take guys out after practice and show them some things. And there's nobody doing that now for the Dallas Cowboys. Nobody's staying after practice. Nobody's doing it. That's an issue.
You know, it's interesting hearing that because we know and you hear a lot of stories about like Dak throwing what Jalen Tolbert over the summer. Tolbert doing what he can to get work in with Dak Prescott. Jalen Brooks told us when we were in Oxnard about how he worked. I go back and I think about stories that Dat Wynn used to tell when he was working here about guys like D. Ware that would stay after and work on all these little techniques, the different things that they would do. And you don't hear that now from this group. And I don't know, where that falls as far as do you point fingers at, do you lay blame? Because they got guys on the staff that are a little bit more old school. But also with all the new CBA rules, what are they allowed to do? What are they not allowed to do? And how much does that factor in? But if these guys want to get in extra work, they can get in extra work. If I'm CeeDee Lamb, am I going to dig saying, dude, I need to work on these routes. I need the best to cover playing defense. I need you to stay after. You just wonder if that is happening. Jerry's kind of indicating it is not.
Or if it is happening, there's not a lot of it happening. A Zach Martin taking out a Tyler Guyton and saying, hey, young fella, let's go work on this technique. I can show you a couple of ways that, you can better get in front of some of these guys. Every position that's out there has got a veteran guy that could take a young guy out there and help him out.
And if you're Tyler Guyton, I know I want to get what I can from Zach Martin, but am I getting DeMarcus Lawrence or Micah Parsons to come after practice? Hey, guys, teach me what you're doing to the other tackles. You know what I mean? That's where they're going to get better. And according to Jerry, that isn't happening.
Not enough, that's for sure. There's some problems in Dallas, but is San Francisco the medicine they need? As banged up as San Francisco is.
Yeah, it's not like the Cowboys are healthy. Will Micah Parsons be able to go this week? He talked, of course, on his podcast. We'll talk about that coming up. It is The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, we got NBA to talk about. We'll look back at your world champions.
And midweek college football. Does it get any better? Can it get worse? All that and more started at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
ABC Wednesdays.
Y'all complain all day. We want books. We want paper towels in the classroom. Bet you want raises too.
I'm still waiting on the paper towels.
Abbott Elementary returns with the new season.
We asked the district for more after-school programs. They gave us $50 for class pets instead.
Critics cheer. Abbott Elementary continues to be one of the funniest and most beloved shows on TV.
What y'all doing out there?
Taking bribes.
Proud of y'all.
Abbott Elementary, Wednesdays, 9:30, 8:30 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929. 800-330-2929.
TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. The HURT app provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. HURT is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download HURT now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. The HURT app is available online in the App Store and Google Play. Learn more about the HURT app and the OrthoNow Injury Clinic at TSAOG.com.
Halloween's coming alive at Target. Jackie and Gordy, the Jack-O-Lanterns, here with a front porch view of Target's Halloween deals, like Best House on the Block trick-or-treat candy starting at $5.99.
Sweet. Don't forget, can't wait to wear it costumes from $15.
Can't wait to see it. Oh, and decorating and pumpkin carving kits for $5.
That's how I got my big toothy grin.
This week only, trick-or-treat candy starts at $5.99, costumes from $15, and decorating and pumpkin carving kits for $5. Make your Halloween come alive at Target. Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's the land of the free and the home of student drivers ready to back into your new fence at any given time. It's firing up a round of burgers and dogs on your rusty grill with a faulty gas line that engulfs your tool shed in flames. It's also around-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
The Halloween parties at the Roof Up have become legendary. Plan now for the biggest and best Halloween party in San Antonio this Friday. Kick off the party weekend at the 11th annual Halloween party with DJs inside the Roof Up and Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road. No cover charge and a $1,000 costume contest at midnight. This is the Halloween party you don't want to miss. This Friday night, the Halloween party of the year. We'll see you at the Roo and wear a costume.
At Frost, some of our services sound too good to be true. Like the largest ATM network in Texas. Early payday, so direct deposits made to personal checking accounts are available up to 2 days earlier. Having a real live banker to talk to 24/7. Or that time a Frost banker gave a San Antonio restaurant her personal debit card number after a customer's card was mistakenly declined at his business dinner. True story. Frost, exactly what you unexpected.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas, exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
What's up? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I'm AJ Hoffman from the Morning Huddle. Join me and Rob Thompson tomorrow morning at 6. Your early morning wake-up call on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. You were with us a little bit earlier in the show, some of the technical issues. We have worked that out. We can hear now.
We can hear now. Man, you realize how you take that for granted. I mean, honestly, it's kind of hard to talk if you can't hear yourself.
Yes, in our world,
in your headphones.
In our world, the headphones, the monitors in the ear, especially if you're playing sound like Jerry Jones or even the music that you're hearing, because the studio is muted, so there is no sound. So it's, like a band. You know how you see the band and they all have those things in their ear.
Yeah.
Some of them are metronomes, some of them have higher guitar, higher drums, whatever they need to stay on pace. It's like driving without a windshield. In a lot of ways.
I guess so. Although we didn't have a bunch of bugs hitting us in the teeth.
You're an idiot.
I mean, I'm just saying. You get hit in the face with bugs and stuff.
Well, driving without a windshield, I was not meaning there wasn't one there, because you could still clearly see where you're going. It'd be like when your windshield is all fogged over or iced over, if you've ever driven in that, yet you're still trying to drive. You can get there. It's just a little bit more challenging, where like we were at the Super Bowl in Minnesota a couple years ago. That was just brutal. But, the defrost, the bottom part of the windshield would be clear. So you're driving kind of looking underneath to see what you can see. But the whole place, the whole windshield wasn't clear. And then, of course, we had because we were fogging and icing up the inside of the windshield from the moisture in your breath. We were telling this story, Rob Thompson and RJ Ocho and we were talking about this on Radio Row, and one of the local security guards comes up during a commercial break and says, I heard you guys talking about that. What you do is you take unscented kitty litter and you put it in a sock and you put that on your dash, and that will absorb the moisture as opposed to freezing up the inside of your windshield.
Well, couldn't you just spit on it? Isn't that what you do with a mask when you go, like...
Oh, you got to give him that huck.
Just spit on the windshield and wipe it off, and then it would keep...
it would freeze.
It would?
Yes.
No.
Yes, it was the moisture from your
spit
mouth.
in a mask when you're going underwater, and it keeps it from fogging up. You spit
when you
in
go
it.
Scuba diving?
Yes.
Yeah, I think in Minnesota, where it was minus 48 degrees, you spit and it's frozen before it lands where it's going.
What, you didn't have a heater on?
We did.
And it was
didn't matter.
Still freezing?
Yes.
Wow.
And again, you would blow, you could see your breath inside the car, and then it was freezing the inside of the windshield.
No, thank you. Dude,
it sucked.
I don't want to have anything to do with that. You live up north, God bless you. I hope I never have to do that, unless, of course, somebody wants to pay me a lot of money to do it.
It would be a lot of money.
A lot of money.
Man, I'd have heated floors.
Yes.
I mean, we were in Idaho about 2 years ago. And
Idaho?
There was a...
Idaho.
There was a snow melt on the roof. These little light switches throughout where you keep them on because it melts the snow. Heats the roof to melt the snow so it doesn't build up.
And collapse, that stuff gets heavy.
Well, that's why you have the snow melt.
Evan Klosky, guy worked with me at Kins 5, worked in South Dakota, one of the Dakotas. They had to hook up their the car battery at night to some heater.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't freeze.
Exactly.
Dude, that's not a way to live.
It's not. It's not. And people like it.
I guess.
I mean, and again, if you die in the wintertime, they just put you on ice out back because they don't even need a storage unit. All the funerals are in the spring. They can't dig a hole in the ground. Ain't nobody going to stand outside for 45 minutes.
Hell no. That's a good idea, though.
What?
You just put them in the backyard. We can go see Grandpa whenever we want.
Stop.
I'm just saying.
Uh-huh.
I don't want any part of that.
Have you ever gone ice fishing?
No, I have not.
Ice fishing is a game changer. That's a different world as well.
In a good way or a bad way, game changer?
It's ice fishing is something that you should do one time in your life because it is a different kind of experience.
It's not exactly on the bucket list, Minnix. I'll be honest with you.
Your bucket list needs to be fuller anyway.
I don't need ice fishing.
But I mean, you drive out. There's like a shed, a couch. You cut a hole in the ice. You string up your beer in a like a net. You put that in the water because you don't even have to carry a cooler with ice. And you fish. And, if you got a generator out there, you've got a heater. and then you pull fish out. I've done it one time. It's entertaining. And then the fun part, when you're driving out there on the lake that's completely frozen over, you start doing donuts on the ice on a lake, which sounds stupid, but it's fun as hell.
Well, I'd be worried about that generator and the heater. What, are you going to melt the ice?
That ice is so thick, it's not a little thin layer. This is everybody's walking, driving. You're fine. You're fine.
Well,
when you cut the hole, you realize you're fine.
If I don't go ice fishing the rest of my life, I think I'll be okay.
Do you ever go regular fishing?
So, well, I used to go quite a bit. We'd go down to the bay in Corpus and fish. I like trout fishing down there.
All right.
It's nice, but I haven't done it in a while. My outdoor activity is golf.
Yeah?
It's pretty much it.
What's on your bucket list? Pebble Beach?
Pebble Beach is on my bucket list. Yes, it is. I have to play Pebble Beach before I pass. And you stick me out in the backyard in Idaho.
I'm not taking you to Idaho.
I don't want to go to St. Andrew's Pledge. The weather's always crappy. It's raining. It's cold. I don't need that. I'd rather stay right here.
So wait a minute. You have no desire to go to the birthplace of golf?
Not necessarily, no. I don't. I mean, if it happened, okay.
What do you mean if it happened? You don't just trip into a round at St. Andrews. You got to book that like 2 years ago.
Pay for it, then that's great. It's just the weather's always crappy. I'd rather go to, a nice place. Although Pebble Beach is kind of chilly. It can be. A lot of wind blowing.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with that.
So you're okay with when it's on the ocean, but you wouldn't go to Pebble Beach. Yeah, I had a friend, and you probably remember him, Trent Rios.
Yeah.
He used to play running back at Smithson Valley and one of the first classes for Incarnate Word when the Cardinals started their football program. That guy goes all over the world playing golf. And, I've seen him post from there, and he's told me stories from over there. And I don't know. And I know all the golf purists get mad if you say this, but I don't look at those courses over there and think, man, those are beautiful. I want to go play them. I mean, like a Pebble Beach or the Masters or some of the courses. I mean, they look like, one, the grass is brown, the sand traps are ridiculous, and then it's a bunch of weeds.
It's always raining and cold.
Yeah.
And because when you go, if you're going on a summer vacation, it's actually winter time there.
Well, sure.
So you'd have to go in the winter time for it to be summer over there.
Get off my lawn.
Now, is that true? Because that's not on the other side of the eagle. Like in South America, Argentina, our winter is their summer and vice versa. I don't know if that's necessarily true over in Scotland and London.
Why do you want to let facts get in the way of a good story? I don't understand that.
It's always
cold.
winter there.
It's cold.
Uh-huh. But it's not a pretty course.
No, not at all.
And I don't care that I'm playing where golf was invented in 1300 or 1400 or 1800, whenever it was done.
I'm not a big fan of that either. There's too many beautiful golf courses. Well, I mean, in the United States for sure. Mexico. I mean, I'm sure there's other, countries that have beautiful golf courses. I'll just do that.
Bucket list.
Pebble Beach.
St. Andrews.
Pebble Beach.
Put it on there. Be like the rest of the sheep.
Nope, not me.
But Pebble Beach? Like I said, be like the rest of the sheep.
John Dyer on our YouTube channel.
Here we go.
You see that? I'm so poor, I'm just looking forward to playing Cedar Creek.
Where's Cedar Creek?
Cedar Creek is in Helotes, kind of in that area out there. Yeah. Actually used to live right next door to Cedar Creek.
So it must be a rich golf course then.
No, it's not. It's a municipal it's a city-owned course.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it's still city-owned, yeah.
By what city?
San Antonio.
All right. Well, he said it was in Helotes.
Well,
I didn't know if Helotes had their own course.
When I first moved in the house that I lived in next to Cedar Creek, it was Helotes at that time. And then here comes the big bad city of San Antonio to annex me and raise my taxes.
Of course. All about Reinagel.
It is.
All about Troy Aikman and the comments that he made. And it's interesting who is defending him. Obviously, everybody in the Cowboys locker room is going to disagree with Troy Aikman. and say things like, I'm only worried about what the guys in this room are saying. I don't care about the outside noise. Although Jerry, Troy knows football. He's a football guy. You should listen to him. Micah Parsons on his Edge podcast. His reaction to Troy Aikman's comments.
During the bye week, we hear a bunch of stuff, and, you hear guys like some of the OGs, Troy Aikman, saying, the routes are terrible. You got everyone throwing their opinions out. But here's the truth, right? We're coming in. We're 3-3. It's the even slate at this point. I just think nothing else matters. The only thing that matters is just getting better. How can we get ready to beat the San Francisco 49ers? How do we look at the film, break down, and self-scout and say, hey, we got to be better. We need to be better. And this is how we do it. And at the end of the day, I give everyone an opinion, right? We hear good opinions. We hear bad opinions. But at the end of the day, the only opinion matters, and I was saying this before, is the people in the room. There's not one person that's going to change the score and the outcomes of some of the games we've seen. There's not one person we can grab, trade for, whatever that can change the outcome. It's got to come within. It got to be the people in the room, people, our coaches, all our players, all our staff, to come together and say, hey, we got to turn this around. It's not one person. It's not two people. It takes a whole team, the culture. That's what the pride's on, is the culture. Can't listen to the outside noise, whether it's good or bad, because we've seen it. When the Cowboys win, it's hallelujahs. And then when we lose, we're the worst team in the world. It's a big slope. So at the end of the day, you just got to listen. And then, it's tough because obviously we all look up to Troy, and, we all respect and validate, people we look up to's opinions. But, I just think I'd rather hear Troy, tell the players that, come around the facility more. Be around, I understand you got your job and everything, but tell it to the players. Tell them how they can get better. I just feel like sometimes we just take often approach, because I'm pretty sure if Troy had some advice or gave some, CD some advice, he will, take it full-heartedly. When D-Word texts me and say, hey, you need to start doing this, you need to incorporate this in your game, I'm like, all right, I bet. Because obviously he's a Hall of Famer. He's one of the great ones. I love getting that information, adding to my toolbox. At the end of the day, I don't think all opinions are just, to attack. It's always to help, make you better. I think Troy was coming from a good place, but I just think, how the media is. They going to work.
What I'm curious of, I'm tired of the rambling. Because at the end of the day, I don't know how much Troy comes around the facility, and I'm glad Micah said if D-Law or DeMarcus Ware texts him something, he puts that into his tool belt. Do a lot of today's players, and we don't know the answer, and it's probably different for everybody, do they take instruction or advice from some of these guys? And, and if you're CeeDee Lamb, and I know you're getting it from the 88 Club. I know Michael Irvin's probably blowing up his phone, as is Drew Pearson and everybody else in the 88 Club. But if Troy were to do that, would he listen? And at the same time, if I'm Micah Parsons and you hear that and you want to be a team leader and you're going to say that on your Edge podcast, pretty sure you've got Troy's number. And if you don't, pretty sure you could get it. Do you text him and say, hey, dude, give me some advice? Are these players, is he saying these players are waiting for that, or should these players be more proactive?
Well, look, I don't know. And I don't know what DeMarcus Ware is doing. If he's just randomly, saw something on TV on Sunday that Micah was doing, and he said, hey, don't do that, do this. I think that's helpful. I do. I want to know what Michael Irvin, we haven't heard from Michael Irvin on this thing. I'd like somebody to ask Michael Irvin. Troy said this. Michael Irvin obviously has a great deal of respect for Troy Aikman. What do you think when you're watching CeeDee Lamb? Michael would say it. And I think Michael would tell CeeDee Lamb that as well. And so, I think it's valuable to hear from these guys that have done it at the highest level, won championships. And if you're not listening to those guys, you're an idiot, because you should be. You should be listening to those guys.
100% agree. 100% agree. I know some like it when the old-timers come around, some don't. Some depends on if you're winning or not winning. If you're getting coached up or getting criticized, and do you take it as criticism or getting coached up?
Constructive criticism is the best. As long as I feel like somebody's trying to help me and they're criticizing what I do, then I'm all for it. If I think you're just being a donkey, then you can go jump in a lake. How about that?
You think somebody's being a donkey?
Well, there's a lot of donkeys out there, I'll tell you that. Lots of them.
He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. The Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. I can't wait what references you come up when we talk about Bronny playing tonight. History is going to be made as the NBA season gets underway. Let's talk about it here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. We should take you get a logo for your donkeys.
Yes, we should.
Little saying, and go to Sammy's and get them put on T-shirts.
All for it.
Because you can do that at Sammy's Embroidery and Printing down on San Pedro. You need T-shirts screen printed. You need to create something. Sam can do that for you. You need your logo on any kind of shirt, a golf shirt, fishing shirt, dress shirt. Sammy's Embroidery and Printing. If you need caps made, Sam has over 25,000 caps and more than 75 color combinations on display in his showroom, including the popular Richardson 112 style trucker caps, Katie caps, Nike Cap America, to name a few. Over 700 uniform lines to choose from. Nobody has better prices, and Sam has all the big name brands, and he's the only company in Texas with one-day turnaround. No order too big, no order too small, and all items do come with a warranty. Call 210-824-3900, 824-3900, or better yet, get into that massive showroom down on San Pedro, a mile inside Loop 410, next to Big Lots across from McDonald's, or check the website, samsembroidery.com, for Sammy's Embroidery Club.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers, this is KTFM Floresville. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday night at 7:20 after a bye. It's the first of 2 road games. Dallas and San Francisco taking on the 49ers.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
You asked for it, you got it! How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
NCE General Contractors, based in San Antonio, is one of the fastest growing nationwide general contractors with a focus on commercial new construction, design build projects, building renovations, tenant finish outs, site upgrades, and building maintenance. NCE President Brian Ehrlich's a former Madison quarterback and proud to support high school football in San Antonio, building relationships first and buildings that last. Learn more about NCE General Contractors online at ncegc.co. That's ncegc.co.
Get your holidays started with the perfect tree in your perfect style from the Home Depot. Whether you want something that you can assemble in a few clicks, steal the show with over 2,000 color-changing bulbs, or a tree with lights that can be controlled by remote or foot pedal. The Home Depot has it all in our huge assortment of premium trees. Plus, get free delivery on over 2 million items this holiday from the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see homedepot.com/delivery for details.
If you're thinking about a compact tractor and you want the best, you can afford a Kubota. I'm John Ewald with Ewald Kubota. Come into one of our 11 locations and check out our tractor package deals. We're offering 0 down and 0 APR financing for 84 months or up to $3,300 off select compact tractors. With a deal this good, you can afford a Kubota from Ewald Kubota. Check out our package specials at ewaldkubota.com.
Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
911, what's your emergency?
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In San Antonio, 5 domestic violence calls happen every hour.
The time to end domestic violence in our community is now.
Step out of violence.
You are not alone.
Call 211 for help. Call 911 if it's an emergency.
Smoky Moe's Texas Barbecue, the best neighborhood barbecue in San Antonio, is now taking orders for Thanksgiving smoked turkeys and holiday parties. Hurry, their whole smoked turkeys sell out every year. Order a freshly smoked, perfectly seasoned turkey and add their delicious side dishes for your best Thanksgiving dinner ever. Having a holiday party? Let Smoky Moe's bring the food. Choose from their classic Texas barbecue to their special holiday catering menu. Order now at SmokyMoe'sBBQ.com or call a Smoky Moe's near you. Smoky Moe's, the pit is
is lit.
Flo here from Progressive to tell you how you get more than great savings with us. You get customer service access through our mobile app, online chat, or by phone.
That's a lot of ways I can get in touch with you. I see what's going on here. You can't name favorites, but I'm your #1 customer.
Actually, we offer all our customers these ways to contact us.
I'm sure you give just any customer your personal
company
contact info.
Well, you did call us more than any other customer this year. So in that sense, you are our #1 customer.
Get help from Progressive through the website, app, chat, or phone. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
When you are just craving something salty and packs a crunch, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds is your crunch time decision. Game day just got a whole lot crunchier thanks to the powerhouse snack, Southern Recipe Pork Rinds. We're talking about crispy, golden bites of pure awesomeness. Pork rinds are your MVP snack. And get this, they're low carb and high in protein, so you can keep the energy high without the guilt. Don't settle for ordinary on game day. Grab yourself a bag of Southern Recipe Pork Rinds at H-E-B today.
Halloween's coming alive at Target. Jackie and Gordy, the Jack-O-Lanterns, here with a front porch view of Target's Halloween deals, like Best House on the Block trick-or-treat candy starting at $5.99.
Sweet. Don't forget, can't wait to wear it costumes from $15.
Can't wait to see it. Oh, and decorating and pumpkin carving kits for $5.
That's how I got my big toothy grin.
This week only, trick-or-treat candy starts at $5.99, costumes from $15, and decorating and pumpkin carving kits for $5. Make your Halloween come alive at Target. Restrictions apply.
San Antonio Sports Stars 50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an Audience National contest across multiple markets. The 50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, the NBA season tips off tonight. A couple of games on the schedule. The Knicks head to Boston to battle the Celtics. That game you can hear on San Antonio's ESPN 1250 AM beginning at 6. That'll be followed by the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Lakers in L.A. Bronny and LeBron expected to play together at some point tonight. Spurs open up the regular season in Dallas on Thursday. Jerry Jones back on the radio. He says Micah Parsons and Deron Bland, game time decisions.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix.
Howdy.
Howdy, howdy.
Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday.
Yeah.
Everybody else's allergies kind of acting up today?
A little bit.
Is it because I know, like, all of a sudden now in our old studio, because of the carpet on the walls, you know, in there about 15, 20 minutes, and it would affect everybody that goes in there. I mean, it just comes with the territory. New studio hasn't been as bad, but today both Joe and I are feeling it, and so is Pledge. But Pledge, you said for the last couple days you've been draining a lot. Normally I just get a little stopped up. Today it's like the faucet turned on immediately in the last 20 minutes.
Well, over the weekend it was worse than it has been now, and I don't feel too bad today. But I took a Claritin before I came to work, so that's kind of kicking in and working. I get addicted to those things this time of year. I say addicted.
Addicted to Claritin?
Well, yeah, you got to, you think, and then you walk into a CVS or Walgreens and they act like you're a meth head, right? When you want, hey, Claritin, can I have some of that? Oh, here's another one. I think you make that out of that, right? They keep them in the back. You can't buy Claritin. You really can't.
I think you can.
I don't think so.
Claritin?
Yes.
I think that's an over-the-counter, sir.
Well, it's over-the-counter. You don't need a prescription, but it's in the pharmacy locked up.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm telling you.
Well, I don't know. I generally buy Zyrtec at Sam's. It's just out there with everything.
It's just out there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Zyrtec used to be prescription.
So you're saying, what are you saying? It's better than Claritin? You saying you're better than me?
Yes. Yes, I am.
I'm telling you,
based
for whatever
on our
reason,
allergy medication.
Whatever reason, I have to go to the pharmacy and they have to grab it from the back. And I've been told.
Well, maybe that's because of your past, sir, and they realize.
They make.
Hi, I'm Joe. I'm addicted to
meth out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they really make meth out of that?
I don't know. They make something out of
you
it.
Just say that?
Well, I got to show my driver's license and everything.
Well, they just, what?
Yes.
For Claritin?
Dude, I'm telling you, somebody can back me up on this.
Nobody's going to back you up on
Well,
this.
of course. I know you got a bunch of these guys, like, yeah, there's one guy that says Joe speaks the truth. See? Maybe that's it. It's the Claritin D, the decongestant stuff. It's locked up. Yeah, go try to buy some Zyrtec at Costco now, buddy.
And
make sure it's decongestant kind. Ain't happening.
I'm trying to think. I think I take a Zyrtec every morning.
Yeah?
But not the decongestant one.
Not
just the regular one.
There's a difference.
But also, I probably have to admit that it's just in the house.
Not but you don't buy it?
No.
Does your wife smuggle that out of the hospital?
No. Well, she buys it at Sam's. She's going to smuggle anything out of the hospital. It better be the good stuff.
Better be something else, right?
But that ain't it. That doesn't happen.
Of course not.
All right, so normal Claritin or Zyrtec can be bought without, but apparently if you want it with the D, you got to show a driver's license.
You have to. Yeah. Now, according to Frank Botteo, he says it's because the chemical that is for people 18, and I don't know what that has to do with anything.
I don't know, because who knows?
Wasn't Frank the Redskins fan?
Yes, he is.
Yeah. Or whatever they're called these days.
All right, Jim says Joe is right. I work in the drug treatment industry. People use it to make meth.
See that?
Joe Reinagel is correct.
Thank you,
Eric.
Jim. Thank you, Jim. Eric, appreciate y'all. You learned something today, didn't you, Minnix?
Yeah, well, I'm good not knowing how meth is made.
I don't know how meth is made. I just know I have to show a driver's license. And
you apparently know how meth is made. You know the key ingredient. That or you watch a whole lot of TV.
You go, well, I watched Breaking Bad.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't remember him using Claritin, though.
Well, that's it. I don't know. I would like on those shows not to tell me exactly how it's done.
Well, I do feel like a drug dealer or something. You go up to a CVS and, hey.
It's a CVS. It's called a drug store.
Can I go? Can I have
You're getting it at a drug store.
Yeah, but you need the good stuff that they got locked in the back. I don't want that cheap stuff. I want the good stuff that you got locked up back there.
Well, like what?
Well, then I'm afraid everybody's looking at me like, drug addict.
Everybody there is looking for drugs.
I'm just saying.
Everybody there is getting something.
Not everybody has to go and be like, covert about it.
Look, you're not getting anything at a pharmacy without showing your license if you're dealing with the pharmacist. You realize that.
Well, yeah, but if you've got a prescription, that's one thing, right? But if you just go buy the cheap Zyrtec, you don't need a license for that. Anybody can buy that.
1 or 11 says, Jason, how are you not a Costco guy? I'm both. I've got a Costco membership and a Sam's membership.
I only have a Costco.
But your wife has a Sam's.
She does, yeah. Sam's is like the generic version of Costco.
It's basically all the same. Is their Kirkland brand is called Kirkwood or something? I don't know. It just goes there. I got to be honest, though. I mean, if you're curious, because I know somebody now is going to ask, Shams has the tobacco, and Costco has the pellets that I like. So you keep them both and go. Need them both.
Yeah. I don't go to Sam's. Honestly, I don't like it. I prefer Costco. That's just my preference.
Well, it depends on what Sam's you're going to.
Well, the only one that I actually know is the one off of I-10, right there kind of next to Costco, or not too far.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's others, but
you just want to be all fancy.
No, I mean, it's just a little,
The hot dog is better at Sam's.
Upgraded.
It's really actually not upgraded.
At Sam's, the hot dog's better?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
Pizza's better at Costco.
I don't eat a lot at Costco, but occasionally I think the hot dog's just fine.
Somebody says, can you please Costco guys vids, please? Like now, I don't know what that means.
I'm not sure either.
I'm not sure.
Speaking of being on drugs.
Uh-huh. Hey, Dan, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, Joe, I'm coming to save you again. This is Weatherman Dan with the backdoor cold front.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
You remember that?
I do.
Yeah,
Yes.
You don't forget when that backdoor cold front arrives.
That's right.
So that's part of the reason y'all are stuffed up, because we need a front door cold front. But as far as Clarendon goes, Joe is correct. When you go through the automatic line, they stop you when you try to buy Claritin, and they have to come and make sure you're over 18 to buy Claritin because of those finicky meth heads that Joe said.
I'm telling you. Dan.
So yes.
You saved the day again, buddy.
Well, I'm just trying to help y'all, Joe. I helped you with the weather. I helped y'all with this one because you are correct. They are keeping us from buying our Claritin when we're stuffy, which I feel like you guys
Wait. Are they really keeping you from buying it or just showing your ID? They're not.
Well, there's a limit, though. You can't buy.
Have to be 18.
All right, you have to be 18, but if you really wanted like 87 boxes, you can go to a couple of different stores.
Can't do it because they have your license.
No, you can't buy more than 2 at a time.
See that?
At a time. But if I, say you're at this CVS, you can go to the Walgreens then, or you can go to another store. You can go buy it if you want it.
And, of course, you're showing your ID, so now they kind of have tabs on where to go with your address.
Are they scanning your ID or just verifying it like they're checking it at the bar?
You got to get a knock on the door from the local drug enforcement.
I mean, why are you in jail, sir?
I bought Claritin from Costco.
Too much Claritin, and now I'm screwed. I mean, it does happen.
Oh, my goodness.
I guess you could get arrested for too much Claritin.
Too much Claritin.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And I think you only buy so much per month. I mean, you can't go just random everywhere. Dude, I'm telling you, it's controlled. Why don't you try that, Minnix? Just go around town and buy a bunch of Claritin. Not to mention the fact that it's expensive as hell.
Again, another reason why that's not necessarily a...
Oh, that's a great idea, Jim.
Not really. Not at all. Not at all. Hey, Bronny plays basketball tonight. Joe's excited. Speaking of heads exploding, we'll talk about it coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Whether it's for Claritin or whatever the reason is, a lot of people get arrested every day for all kinds of reasons. You get arrested, you want to get out of jail fast because, well, of course you do. Best way to do that, call my good friend Albert and his great staff at AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text the word bail to 474747, or you can start the bonding process online at mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else to get out of jail, and you don't want to be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you a PR bond, make sure you truly understand what all those conditions are before accepting it. Your best option for stress-free bail bonds is AA Best Bail Bonds because nobody beats their price. They offer payment plans, a free shuttle service. They're discreet and confidential and open 24/7 to get you out of jail fast. Offices all over San Antonio and Texas, who are free up in Dallas, down in Corpus, anywhere in between. License number 149. Call AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121, or go online at mybestbailbonds.com.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
You invited Dak and Coop over to the house. What Mama cooked?
She never disappoints.
Well, what was the meal? We're really curious.
Well, she had the local pizza, salads, pasta dish chicken.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1. San Antonio Sports Star.
Howdy, Ags. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, inviting you to watch all A&M games at the Angry Elephant at 281 and Redland Road. Owned by Chip Ingram, class of '98, the Angry Elephant is known for their liberal cocktails at conservative prices and the best hot dog in Texas. Since 2012, the Angry Elephant's been the place to watch A&M, and this year is no different. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Rue Pub at 281 and Redland Road. The Angry Elephant. Like your bar, love your Aggies. Gig 'em.
Testosterone plays a significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
Reason number 52 to choose Diamonds Direct over any other jeweler. Only Diamonds Direct gives you a 110% diamond upgrade guarantee. Let us explain. If you buy a diamond at Diamonds Direct today and decide in the future you want to upgrade to a larger diamond, Diamonds Direct will give you 110% of your original purchase price toward the new stone. For example, let's say you bought her a $5,000 diamond last year, but now she wants to upgrade to a $6,000 diamond. Diamonds Direct will give you $5,500 toward the new one. That's 10% more than you paid the first time. Guaranteed appreciation. Whether that first diamond was $3,000 or $30,000, you get 10% more. Who else does this? And unlike other stores who claim to offer diamond upgrades, at Diamonds Direct, there's no fine print and no minimum purchase requirement. It's 10% more, period. Come and discover real value and buy with confidence. Proud to call Alamo City home. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Not to brag, but Progressive's Name Your Price tool is mankind's greatest tool ever. Even better than the wheel. Sure, without the wheel, we wouldn't have modern transportation or funny videos of dogs riding skateboards. But without the Name Your Price tool, we wouldn't have easy access to auto insurance options based on our budget. And, well, cars do need wheels. They also need insurance, and insurance never goes flat. Learn more about the greatest tool ever, the Name Your Price tool at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. Not available in all states.
What's better than one win? 3 wins. With Straight Savings, you keep your own phone, get one line for only $25 a month with real unlimited data, and get rewarded with a $200 phone credit after 12 months. It's a win-win-win. Head to Walmart or visit straighttalk.com today. Switch to Straight Talk. Less dollars, more sense. Straight Savings Plan enrollment requires compatible unlocked device and new line of service. Bonus device credit requires 12 months of active service. Offer ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. Taxes and fees apply. For network management practices, see Straight Talk's terms and conditions.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here for Prize Picks, my daily fantasy game. In fact, mine and 10 million others are playing this every day because we know what we're doing. Prize Picks is the best place to get real money on your sports action. Join me and so many others playing every day. You know why? Prize Picks invented FlexPay, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. Look, you know your sports. How many yards is CeeDee Lamb going to get this week? Is Jonathan Taylor going to get 85 or more? You know what you're doing. Go make your play. Prize Picks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off? Which players aren't? You know you play fantasy football. Put your knowledge to work. And remember, use the code Alamo and there's $50 in it for you. Download the app now. Use Alamo. Play with your friends. It's the best way to have fun and get yourself in the game. Remember, Prize Picks also offers weekly promotions that can add to big payouts. Download the app today. Prize Picks. Run your game.
The Morning Huddle.
I don't want him knowing my trash. No, yeah, like somebody.
Oh, no.
I don't want a listener to know.
There's some things I need to burn.
To pick up my trash because he might go through my stuff.
I don't want anybody to see like the entry, like Flomax bottles and Viagra.
Yeah,
like, hey, man. No, that preparation hates. That's for my eyes.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. Don't forget, Thursday, the Blitz is going to be live out at Little Woodrow's on Braun Road with our friends from Flight by Yingling.
That's going to be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun and great prizes to give away, like tickets to go see that Dallas-Philadelphia game in Arlington and, of course, passes to the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party, which is incredible. All you can eat, all you can drink, 3 hours before the game.
Wow. Yeah, I'm assuming that's a 3 o'clock kick, huh?
Yeah.
I would assume that.
3:25. I think. You want to look that up?
I would think so.
I don't think it's a primetime game. Although I wouldn't be surprised if it's a primetime game.
Well, this week is with San Francisco.
This week is. And you look at the Cowboys, 2-0 in primetime games since 2021, 15-4 in primetime games.
All right.
Best record.
How about that?
I mean, they're 3-0 on the road this year. This game on the road.
On the road.
Mike McCarthy, 12-5 in games following the bye week, 3-1 as head coach of the Cowboys. The only time he's lost after a bye was that overtime loss to Green Bay in 2022.
Well, they've got to slay the demon, which is the San Francisco 49ers. That's the issue. That's their kryptonite, Minnix.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens.
And, of course, San Francisco's banged up.
Big time.
Cowboys have a lot of injuries, too.
Yep.
So we'll see. I mean, it could end up being a really good game or not. I know the Vegas line has moved a full point from where it opened. So we'll see what happens as the week progresses and more injury reports come out.
Well, and it's going to be interesting to see who plays for San Francisco. Obviously, Ayuk's out. McCaffrey's out. Deebo Samuel, I'm assuming he's still in the hospital for pneumonia, so I would say most likely he doesn't play. The only thing San Francisco is going to have to rely on is that run game because they still have that, and that is still an issue for Dallas. So we'll see.
Micah Bland right now, bit of a game time decision.
Yep.
We'll see if that changes. Now, as you think about your TV, and we are continuing to watch, there is NBA basketball tonight.
Real games.
Real games. The NBA regular season starts tonight. I know it's a couple more days for the Spurs, so we've got a couple more days. But a headline, or let me rephrase that, a tweet that will make Reinagel's head explode. We aren't talking enough about LeBron James, says Awful Announcing.
We're not talking enough.
We are not talking enough about LeBron James.
Well, I would like to know how much is enough. There's all kinds of stuff. Now, all I've seen today is history. LeBron, Bronny on the floor at the same time. And I'm dead serious about this because I'd probably watch this game anyway. Are you only is it really that big of a deal?
Yes.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
Why? Tell me why. Give me a reason why.
When Ken Griffey Jr. and Ken Griffey Sr. played, where you thought it was pretty cool?
Maybe for about 5 minutes.
All right. But
I forgot all about it, quite honestly.
For about 5 minutes, this is going to matter.
It is?
It's a big deal, and it's going to be orchestrated to the nth degree tonight.
Are they going to hug?
Probably.
Pat him on his little hiney when he does something good?
Well, look, to give you an idea of the expectation tonight, and saw a tweet earlier from my friends at Underdog Fantasy. Underdog Fantasy has a promotion tonight. This is not part of their commercial. It just tells me what they think of Bronny James. That on Twitter, if you go to Underdog Fantasy, they've got a couple things to do. Put your handle in there, retweet, like, all that kind of stuff when you're giving away things. They're giving away $1,000 a point that Bronny scores tonight.
To who?
Well, those that follow the instructions on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
So, if you like, retweet, and put your handle in there, they'll randomly select people and give away $1,000 a point. So my guess is they're thinking they're not giving away a lot of money tonight because otherwise it wouldn't be $1,000 a point.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised if Adam Silver probably has already put down the dictate, hey, when Bronny has the ball, Minnesota, get out of his way. Just let him play.
That's not
let him
happen.
score.
That's
already come down. If not, they're going to be fined. It's ridiculous.
In all seriousness, which might be impossible to have this conversation with you right now.
Probably.
But when Bronny does check into the game, or if Bronny and LeBron check in at the same time, because it is history. It's never happened before. Do they stop the game and take a picture, do a game ball? Do they do anything? No, again, but do they do anything to celebrate the moment, or will it just be whatever the broadcasters are talking about, and it just happens? But watching Shams Charania and anything else that you're seeing out of L.A., It's orchestrated. It's going to happen. LeBron said don't have to rush a pairing with Bronny, but you know it's going to happen. And quite frankly, it's got to happen quick because when the G League season starts, he won't be on the Lakers roster anymore. He'll be with those guys.
Well, you wouldn't think so. I also saw a tweet from some L.A. reporter type that says the Lakers are planning to insert Bronny into the lineup early in this game.
They want to get it out of the way.
Well, I don't know if they want to get it out of the way.
They want to get it out of the way.
Honestly,
think about it. The only thing, every one of his teammates, let's get this crap over with.
I honestly don't understand what the big deal is. I really don't understand what the big deal is. So, father's playing with his son. That's it?
Yeah, that's a big deal.
So tomorrow, if you don't watch this tonight, you have to miss it. You have to work or do something. You're just going to be upset for the rest of the year.
Who is going to be upset?
That's what I'm saying. There's no big deal.
Your extreme level is there. I'll see it on Scott Van Pelt. I'll see it on Greeny. I'll see it on First Take.
I know.
But it is.
Ad nauseum, we'll see it.
But it is a big deal.
I don't understand why it's a big deal, honestly.
Right, I'm trying to think.
Bronny, number one, Bronny shouldn't be in the NBA.
Well,
he's not ready for NBA action.
He's true,
not.
But he's here.
Yes.
I mean, they televised the whole second round just for that one pick.
Well, I get that. And which, again.
If it was somebody not LeBron, and I know you're too damn stubborn to answer this honestly, but let's say now that Chris Paul is a member of the Spurs, and he's been in the league for 1,000 years, if the Spurs had selected CP4, and Chris Paul and his son was going to check into the game,
I wouldn't give a damn.
All right. David Robinson's kid.
Wouldn't care.
You would.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, you would.
Why?
You would.
I honestly would not. It has nothing to do with LeBron. Bronny's not a hair on LeBron's butt, all right, when it comes to playing basketball. He's not. He's not even close. He doesn't belong in the NBA. The only reason he's in the NBA is because his father's LeBron James.
Yeah.
That's it.
Nepotism.
Well, that's it.
It's there.
But, I mean, even nepotism, you think the kid might be, I don't know, able to play?
Well, he can't. He couldn't
even crack the starting lineup at USC,
he
for
had
goodness
a heart
sake.
attack.
Well, even before he had a heart attack.
You're making me defend this kid, and I don't want to, but you're ridiculous here. I mean, I just look at, there's got to be a scenario where you could think, all right, that's a pretty cool moment. And
I would think Chris Paul's kid's probably, 30 by now?
Chris Paul's kid?
Love you, Chris. I really don't see the big deal about it. Everybody, hey, what history are we going to set? Is this going to be written in the history books for the next 50 years for kids at school to study? It was October 22nd, 2024, when Bronny and LeBron played together. Oh, my goodness, it was a glorious day. Are they going to make a national holiday out of it?
No.
They might.
You like first, though, don't you?
Do I like what?
First. It's the first time this has happened.
It is? Okay. Whoop-de-frickin-do. Hey, Lakers, how about trying to win something besides an in-season tournament? That might be a goal.
Yeah, all right. I'm trying to think about, I might need help on YouTube. Somebody else might have a good analogy. 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Anybody on YouTube with something that could make Reinagel understand. And again, I agree with almost Bronny shouldn't be in the NBA.
No.
This is manufactured.
It is.
But he is there, and it's a first. And again, you're making me defend this, which is not a position I thought I would take, but I'm trying to have a conversation about first. So I'm trying to think something that you truly do care about. So who is your favorite St. Louis Cardinal player that played for the Cardinals for a long time?
Oh, man. There's so many.
Name one.
Well, I mean, there's obviously Albert Pujols.
Right,
There's Tommy Herr.
Right,
I mean, I could go on and on and on. You want to keep going?
Let's start with Albert
Ozzie
Pujols.
Smith.
All right, Ozzie Smith is a good one because he played for a long time. Ozzie Smith's son is in the organization that gets called up, and he's going to play. And they're going to be in the lineup together. You know damn well you would tune in to watch, and you would think it would be cool for about 5 minutes, and then you would go on with the rest of your life.
You know, I honestly don't. And here's the difference, too. If Bronny James earned his way onto the Lakers squad, and it didn't happen because the NBA orchestrated it, maybe it would be a bigger deal to me. But this kid does not belong in the NBA. He has no business being there. And the fact that it is just orchestrated so everybody can have a little, great little moment. I mean, that's all it is. It's all orchestrated. It's an act. I might as well go to a play at the Majestic Theater, for goodness sake. It's the same thing.
In some ways, yes, it is a very much an orchestrated moment, and all of that is fair. And again, Bronny should not be in the NBA, but when you get a chance to see something that's never happened before. You kind of tune in. I mean, that's what you do. Hey, Tony, you're on the Blitz. Tony, turn down your radio, man.
Hey, brother, just to tell Joe, it's going to be history tonight if LeBron James gives Bronny an assist and vice versa. It'll be the first time in history, in NBA history, that a father-son duo score and give each other an assist.
Wow. I can't wait for that to happen. Bronny's going to have to actually make a shot for that to happen for LeBron, and I'm not sure he can do that.
Alley-oop, partner, he got top, so.
Alley-oop.
That's one thing he has.
Hey, Tony, I hope you enjoy the game tonight, and I hope it's history for you, and you can write it down on the wall and say, I was there. Yeah. I saw it live. Enjoy yourself, Tony.
The comments on YouTube are incredible. Oh, my goodness. I encourage you people to go to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel and read some of the comments. Clearly, LeBron is not popular here. And the nicknames for LeBron are incredible. There's some really good comments there, most of which I can't read on
the
radio.
They're funny as hell, though.
Did you see Omar Scott's? That was pretty damn funny. That one there is pretty damn funny.
Yeah.
I don't give a flea flying about that's funny. I've never heard of that one before. A flea flying other F word there. That's good stuff, man.
Oh my goodness.
Always good to catch up with our buddy ND Kalu, who's got a son playing big-time college football. I wonder what he would say, how special it would be if he were to play on the same professional team with his son. We'll
ask him.
We'll get a father's perspective.
Yes.
We're both girl dads. We wouldn't. Yeah. If ND was still playing, could he play? What are his thoughts? We'll talk about it coming up here on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine is excited to announce a partnership that is revolutionizing access to care for orthopedic patients. It's called the Hurt app, and it provides free 24/7 access to orthopedic expertise. Hurt is the app to have before you need it. Don't wait for an injury to happen. Download Hurt now for free, fast virtual access to orthopedic specialists. You can find the Hurt app in the App Store and Google Play, and you can learn more about the Hurt app and the Ortho Now Injury Clinic online at tsaog.com. That's tsaog.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, we got NBA to talk about. We'll look back at your world champions and midweek college football. Does it get any better? Can it get worse? All that and more started at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Morning 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's winds blowing across a fruited plain, and also your new fire pit, which subsequently sets your gazebo ablaze. It's hard-hitting football, and an even harder-hitting price estimate from your general contractor. That's a star-spangled bummer. It's also around-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive could save hundreds, which could be life-changing. I mean, you could put that money towards that zero-turn lawnmower you've always wanted. And after using its edge-shaping technology to meticulously sculpt the face of the Mona Lisa into your grass, you'll become the undisputed king of Saturday morning lawn care, leaving your neighbor and sworn enemy Gary to question his place in the delicate neighborhood ecosystem. And it's all because you could save money switching at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
This new dose is... nope, that's not it. The price is nowhere to be found.
Mr. Green? Hi, it's all good. We've got this.
This is not just help from a Walgreens pharmacist.
Oh, new prescriptions. Cool. Let me check to see if these are the lowest cost options covered by your Medicare plan.
Oh, that's great. Thank you.
This is someone supporting you every step of the way. Chat with a pharmacist today to find help saving. This is the human kind of help. Walgreens.
It's time to huddle up and listen close. For 2024, we pay tribute to a true game changer in the world of snacks, the unrivaled, the unbeatable, the pork rind. Yes, it's crunch time, and we're not just talking about the last few nail-biting minutes of the game. We're talking about a snack so audaciously crunchy, it puts those pretentious chips and pretzels to shame. So here's to you, Southern Recipe pork rinds, for being more than just a crunch. Southern Recipe pork rinds. It's crunch time. Find your rind at H-E-B.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
Football is back. And what better way to celebrate than winning some cash with Sleeper Picks? Sleeper Picks is a fantasy game, but you could win real money. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats. If your picks are right, you win. You could pick up to 8 players to win up to 100 times your money. And Sleeper has a couple huge offers to kickstart the football season. For new users, Sleeper will match your first deposit with up to $100 credit to your account. If you've already played, Sleeper's got discounted player projections for you every week of the season. So download the Sleeper app now and use promo code BLOCK, and your first deposit will be doubled with a credit up to $100. What are you waiting for? Download Sleeper today and use code BLOCK for a credit up to $100 match on your first deposit. That's code BLOCK. Must be 18 years in most states and in state where it is legal. Promo code and other restrictions apply. Visit Sleeper.com. Please wager responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-426-2537 for help. Sponsored by Sleeper, a Blitz product.
Hey, Total Wine & More has all your Halloween favorites at the totally lowest prices.
Economical.
Find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
What's up? 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Everything that I wanted, only gotta drive for the moment.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. Always great to bring in our good friend, San Antonio Sports Hall of Famer, Houston Texans legend, ND Kalu on the Buyers Barricades guest line. And ND, we're going to bring you in a conversation that
you don't want to get into, probably.
Yeah, how's your Tuesday, man?
Well, first of all, the way Joe laughed when you said that, I was like, uh-oh, what conversation are they going to bring in?
All right. I imagine, ND, that you were still playing in the National Football League at a high level. Imagine you probably have another 5-6 years, and then there's an opportunity that young DK Kalu could get drafted to the team that you're playing for. And now you're going to get the lineup, ND Kalu and DK Kalu, a father-son lining up in the NFL. How cool would that be?
Okay, I see where you're going, and it would probably be one of the coolest things ever.
If he was drafted by your team, ND, he probably would have earned it, correct? It wouldn't be a staged event made for television for the NBA or the NFL.
So I have two thoughts there, and I kind of get a feeling of what your feeling is towards it. But here's the thing: even if you're a LeBron fan, you have to admit that was staged, as you put it. That was a scenario. If his dad wasn't on the team, there's no way in hell he would have got drafted. You have to admit that he's not ready for the NBA. But then on the flip side, we see it in so many other industries. Why are we so upset when we see LeBron, who's not the official owner of the company, but he's running it? Why are we so upset when he takes advantage of it? When you look at the Dallas Cowboys, is Stephen Jones really the most qualified for the job that he has? And a lot of people will say, no, there's a lot of better individuals for it. But since his dad runs the team, he's in that seat. And I have absolutely no problem with that. Like, if you're the guy who took the risk, who put up the millions, or, to purchase the Dallas Cowboys, then you should absolutely be able to put your son in place. And I look at the LeBron-Bronny situation the same way. Now, if he's playing in a regular season game, and they're losing because of him, that's a different, story. But I don't expect to see him on the court.
Well, he's going to be on the court, and that's the problem. Tonight, you're not going to be. You're not having a party, ND.
Stop.
Everybody else is.
Having
This is
a party
history.
to watch this.
This is history.
Hold on. He's going to be on the.
Yeah.
Look, this is why you should have asked me basketball questions. I just assumed. I assumed he was going to be in the Gatorade League or whatever they call it.
He will, but that the G League doesn't start for about a couple more weeks. So he's on the active roster tonight. And more than likely, it's going to be very orchestrated. He and LeBron will share the court tonight. So the first time a father and son on the court together playing in an NBA regular season game. It's history. And
well, everything that I just said, flush it down the toilet with the rest of the crap, because I didn't realize that. I thought it was one of those situations, Jason, that he was in the organization, in the system, because of his dad. But I really thought that he was going to be playing G League and he wasn't going to set foot on the actual NBA court.
No, he's going to play tonight. Now, he'll end up in the G League when that league gets going in November. But for now, he's there. And all I'm saying to Joe, and he didn't earn his way, we all know that, but it is going to be a cool moment for LeBron and his kid. Now, the other part of that is, could you imagine Indy sharing a locker room with your son? Could you imagine some of the locker room conversations that ND and DK could have? Or would you even want to be, A, hearing what he's saying about, but certainly you don't want him hearing what you're talking about?
The latter, because my son, at least the way he's a little laid back, prudish. He's not doing anything crazy. But there's some stories I would not want him to hear in the locker room directed towards me about what we may have done in the past, me and my teammates. But I will say this: the cool thing about NFL locker room, you're never going to find a group of guys that have your back more so than in NFL locker room, that they would know how to adjust and edit the conversations if your son was in the room.
Well, I tell you, it's going to be that's all I've heard today is how this is historic, and I can't wait to see it, and what a great moment. And I'm just like, I just don't really give a damn. And so
But you also hate LeBron. If it were somebody else, you might give
No.
You still wouldn't give a damn. You just wouldn't be fired up about it.
We went through this whole scenario of players, ND, and I said I wouldn't give a damn about any of them. I don't care. It's orchestrated. It's made for TV tonight. That's all this is by the NBA to get people to tune in. The ratings are probably going to be off the chart. Yeah. It's a made-for-TV movie. That's all it is.
Hallmark.
It has a WWE feel.
Yes, exactly.
But my whole point in asking you, you had, a 12-year NFL career. If you would have been able to turn that into a 26-year career and your son either was drafted and or signed as an undrafted free agent, you would think as a dad, as a pro athlete, that would be cool to be able to literally bring your kid to work, but he gets a paycheck.
It's one of those deals where if you're in it, you're like, I know how this looks, but screw everybody else. This is cool for me and my family. And when I saw that this was going to happen for LeBron a couple of years ago when people started talking about it, the first thing I thought was like, God dog it, I knew I should have got that girl pregnant when I was 15. And I probably
Nobody ever said that.
Nobody
ever actually said that.
I could be living this story.
Living this story.
I just waited too long to take off the. Well, let's stop.
Man, there's a Marshall High School story out there somewhere. Oh, my goodness.
That he doesn't want his son to hear.
No. Although the people at Marshall are saying, no, that only happened at Holmes. I mean,
exactly.
Oh, my
Holmes
goodness.
and Jay and John Jay.
Wow.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up, ND. That's good.
Did we clear anything
up?
I
don't know if we did or not.
I don't think we did.
Yeah, whatever. I'll probably watch the game, but I don't give a damn about that. So
right, hold on.
Okay, with me not knowing the story until y'all let me know, I don't find myself tuning in, for it because. And I'm kind of speaking out of both sides of my mouth. But I think I'm being more realistic than yes, it is. But I think I'm being more realistic because Joe, if you were in the situation, I think you would do it for your. Like, are you telling me you would say no, Lakers, don't draft my son. He hasn't earned it.
I'm not in that situation, and that's a good question, ND, because I don't know how I would react, but I would hope that my son would have earned his way onto the team to be drafted, and not that it was me forcing the issue.
But
that I could say.
You would. Now, on our YouTube channel, a guy named Eric says, Tiger Woods and his son. You were all over that.
I was?
Yeah.
When?
When Tiger and he played with his...
well, that's not going to happen because it's a father-son golf tournament. I mean, that's a little different, right? He's not on the PGA Tour.
It's a father-son basketball game tonight.
Exactly. Oh, my goodness, where people are paying a lot of money to watch.
Uh-huh.
Okay, here's my last thing.
Okay.
No, I'm not even going to make a joke because I'm listening to this awesome conversation, and now I'm like, man, I might tune in just to see it. And that's what it's all about, though, when it's all said and done, right?
That's it.
Now I'm thinking, because I was all excited because UTEP plays football tonight. So,
you should really be watching the Sam Houston State game.
That was not a joke.
Sam Houston plays tonight.
That was a joke, indeed.
No. All jokes aside, one of my son's friends he played high school ball with, he's a running back for UTEP. So, I like to watch. I love football. I don't care who's playing. So that's part of the reason. But anyway, now, after, wow, Joe, you just promoted the Lakers game.
I know.
Because of you, more people are going to watch the Lakers tonight than if they weren't even really thinking about it, because it was not on my radar.
I don't know. Sam Houston, Florida International on ESPNU is what I'm going to be watching.
That could be a good game.
Football is football. I'm watching football.
I agree with you. I agree with that. Locker room conversation, ND. What do you think the locker room conversation was in Green Bay after the Texans lost that game? Because the offensive line was less than stellar, to say the least.
You know what? And it could have gone so many different ways. It could have been a situation where the defense, and this doesn't happen in the locker room, it's more when they're having their Thursday night beer as a position group. They might, they might say, man, our offensive line is tripping. Like they got some work to do if we're going to, fulfill these expectations. But in the locker room, I would not be surprised if there was a positive spin on it. If there is a situation where they're saying we were down 5 starters, like that's unheard. 5 starters on defense. We come to Green Bay and we lose by a last-second field goal. There's no joy, there's no comfort in losing. But I wouldn't be surprised if the thought was, hey, we can build from this, we can learn from this. The outlier that C.J. Stroud had less than 100 yards passing, like that's a stat that I was a little surprised. I didn't even realize it as the game was going on. But it's one of those outliers. Like, I'm just going to put that off to the side because I doubt we see such a lackluster performance like that from him. But right now, it's just the offensive line. The biggest question mark is what's going on with this offensive line, what's going on with some of these play calling. How does a freaking safety get 2 sacks untouched off the safety blitz? Like, that's not just offensive line. That's play calling as well. Because, you know, when we think about the inefficiencies of an offensive line, typically we'll point to a certain pass rush move that they're getting beat on. But 4 of those sacks, no, let me say 3. I can think of 3 right now that they just, the sacker, the defender wasn't touched. So I look at the offensive line for not knowing the responsibility, but I also look at the play calling like, hey, are you letting them know that when the safety blitz comes, the offensive tackle has a new responsibility? Now he has the safety blitzer and the guard has to tackle, and you basically go outside in. Like, is that being coached up during the week?
So all of a sudden this week we've heard a lot of people say get rid of that Bobby Slowick guy. He sucks, where last year he was going to be, you know, the next great head coach. Bobby Slowick losing some shine here?
I don't believe in those knee-jerk reactions. I mean, like you mentioned, last year, or during the offseason, I should say, people were like, you know, I hope we don't lose him. You know, he's going to be a head coach. He's the hottest name. And now we're 8 weeks in. It's like, man, get rid of the bum. So I don't, you know, I don't think he forgot how to coach. Now let's see how he adjusts. You know, just like players who have a bad game, you go back and you tweak your weaknesses. Now he's going to have to go self-scout the play calling. He's going to have to go see where maybe he could have been a little bit more aggressive late in the game instead of being content with just a field goal and playing not to lose. So, no, I personally, and I don't know him. So, but I personally would not be ready to make a change as the offensive coordinator.
All right, ND, I really want your opinion on this because, and I'm just going to ask you if this is fair or not. C.J. Stroud, obviously, it doesn't appear, at least on the surface, he's playing as well as he did last year. The schedule's tougher, I know. But do you buy into the case that now they've got tape on him, these defensive coordinators are pretty good at adjusting, and now C.J. Stroud may have to adjust a little bit?
So, yes. But I never – so I would say yes. You know, the defensive coordinators in this league, they're very sharp. They're very creative, and they can throw different wrinkles at you. But when you have an entire season of success, here's the thing. Like, it only took us, week 3 or 4 last year to know that C.J. Stroud appeared to be the real deal. So defensive coordinators were adjusting, or they were preparing for him as if he was a top-tier quarterback in week 4. So I don't think it was 17 games plus the playoff game and defensive coordinators like, oh, he's good. Okay. Let's prepare a different kind of way. You know, I feel like he was seeing some things last year that you would throw at a top-tier quarterback. But I will say every week you're going to see something different. And, you know, you can talk about tendencies over a 17-game season versus only 4 weeks in. Yeah, there might be some signs that they're taking advantage of, but I still think when it's all said and done, he's still going to be a top 7-8 quarterback in this league at the end of the season.
You know, ND, as we talk about that, I really thought this game would be a big game for C.J. Stroud to carry this team. With the defensive injuries, this offense was going to have to do more than what they're used to, more than, you know, lift this team, help out the defense. And the way the game played out, defense played fine. The running game was there. It was C.J. Stroud that struggled. And, you know, I don't know if you believe in sophomore slumps, but what are you seeing in his game that is a little bit different? I know, you know, 10 completions and under 100 yards isn't the norm, even if he has an off game. You know, Mahomes didn't have his greatest game on Sunday at San Francisco, and they find ways to win, but there's just something that doesn't look right with this Texans team. And I know I've been saying it for a couple of weeks. Are they a legit Super Bowl contender, or are they'll be a playoff team and out early?
Well, I'll tell you what doesn't look right: having 5 defenders in your face as soon as the ball is in your hand. So I really think it's not just CJ. Obviously, he's the type of player that's going to look at himself and say, where can I get better? Because you're right. I mean, how many times do we see what we call a top-tier quarterback have 10 completions, 86 yards, no touchdowns in a game? I don't,
those are Daniel Jones numbers.
Exactly. So, yeah, there's something there he's going to have to fix. Also, I'm not even going to mention what I was about to mention. So he absolutely has to look.
You can bring in Dak Prescott if you want
absolutely.
to. It's all fine.
Yes.
Oh, no. I was because I don't want to sound like I'm making an excuse, but I was also going to mention that Nico Collins is out, but he still has Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, Xavier Hutchinson, who I think is a nice big body wide receiver. But I think the genesis of the issues with the offense is the offensive line and just not picking up the blitzing defensive back and or not taking care of the one-on-one matchups. I mean, not only was he sacked 4 times, he was also hit like another 7 times. Like, that's a lot of pressure in one game.
Thank God for Joe Mixon. That's all I've got to say.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And the defense, and the entire defense.
Yeah.
Mixon is on Reinegel's fantasy team. That's all he gives
well,
a damn
it
about.
doesn't matter if he's on his fantasy team.
That's
The
all
guy's
you give a damn about.
fantastic.
Yes.
Yes. Guy's great.
Colts this week. Easy W.
You need that bounce back game. But if any player goes into the game, which I doubt, thinking, it's going to be an easy W, they're going to be in for a rude awakening. Speaking of another quarterback that doesn't have great stats, but he always makes you nervous if he can stay healthy, is Anthony Richardson. So with, Anthony Richardson under center, you're not worried about him lighting you up for 300 yards passing, but he's the type of quarterback that could extend drives. You get a nice rush from these aggressive edge rushers the Texans have, but then he slips them and picks up 9 or 10 yards to keep a drive going. Like that, that's what can kill you. That's what you have to be worried about with the Anthony Richardson. So, no, absolutely not an easy game. And here's the thing. The Colts are coming into this game saying we're 1 game away from being the top of the division. So they're definitely going to be playing with a lot of confidence and really feel like they're playing for something. But I would be very disappointed if the Texans don't win this game handily. I mean, the Miami Dolphins, the team the Colts just beat, struggling team. They don't have an identity right now. Don't even know who their quarterback really is, and they just barely beat them. 16-10, I believe, or 17-10. So no, I still expect the Texans to handle the Colts. They better if they want to be that contender you talked about.
ND Kalu.
Enjoy history tonight, ND.
Yeah, sorry to my UTEP minors. I guess I'm going to have to tune in late because I will be watching the father-son duo. Man, now I'm about to click on ESPN.com and read up on what's going on in the NBA because I really just assumed that he wasn't going to be anywhere near the actual court on game day in the regular season.
Oh, he's going to make history tonight, although you could watch the Bearcats. But I'm going to guess you got more than one TV in your house, in your living room. In your TV room?
No, we have one in the movie room. Just one. See,
in the movie room.
I'm a man of meager existence. I don't have
much. So full.
We're struggling over
here. The struggle is real.
Yes.
In the movie room, we only have one giant 170-inch screen.
Just one.
Our filet mignon snacks.
Yes.
Yeah, with the guy that brings it to you. He could probably bring you another television as well.
Just one TV. That's all we got.
You're so... ND, I know you're going to be off next week continuing education, so we'll talk to you in 2 weeks.
I'm looking forward to that. 6:30 in the morning. No. 8 in the morning to 6:30 at night.
Oh, man.
For what? Real estate stuff?
To have your broker's license every year or two, you have to take these classes. Now, I could do it online, but I'm better in class in class, because if I try to do it online, I'll just, I'll step away from the computer and all that crap.
All the multiple TVs would distract you.
So I'll just sit in class for 2 days.
Mm-hmm. Have fun with that.
All right, appreciate y'all. Y'all enjoy the game.
Good stuff. The great ND Kalu on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond, online at buyersbarricades.com. Let's talk about the NBA coming up. Plus, Jerry makes his return to 105.3 The Fan. And no real fireworks, although bus tracks all over Mike McCarthy. We'll dive into that coming up on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville. 1, 2, 3, Cowboys! South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday night at 7:20. After a bye, it's the first of 2 road games. Dallas and San Francisco taking on the 49ers.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
You asked for it, you got it! How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
911, what's your emergency?
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In San Antonio, 5 domestic violence calls happen every hour.
The time to end domestic violence in our community is now.
Step out of violence.
You are not alone.
Call 211 for help. Call 911 if it's an emergency.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696 and manage your diabetes as easy as...
Howdy, Ags. Andrew Monaco, the voice of the Aggies, inviting you to watch all A&M games at the Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. Owned by Chip Ingram, class of '98, the Angry Elephant is known for their liberal cocktails at conservative prices and the best hot dog in Texas. Since 2012, the Angry Elephant's been the place to watch A&M, and this year is no different. Just down from the Big Blind, right next to the Rue Pub at 281 in Redland Road. The Angry Elephant. Like your bar, love your Aggies. Gig 'em.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, the Scratch Kitchen delivers lunch in the clutch. I mean, where else can you order a 29-degree draft beer and a quickie combo on your lunch break? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
When there's work to do, ground to break, and a reputation to uphold, you need the powerful, durable Kubota RTVX, North America's #1 selling diesel utility vehicle. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $1,000. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this. If something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
Get your holidays started with the perfect tree in your perfect style from the Home Depot. Whether you want something that you can assemble in a few clicks, steal the show with over 2,000 color-changing bulbs, or a tree with lights that can be controlled by remote or foot pedal. The Home Depot has it all in our huge assortment of premium trees. Plus, get free delivery on over 2 million items this holiday from the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see homedepot.com/delivery for details.
San Antonio's Sports Center.
Well, Jerry Jones was back on the radio this morning. First time since last week's controversy between Jerry and the host on 105.3 The Fan. No fireworks today, but Jerry criticized what he called bad plays and concepts. NBA season tips off tonight. A couple of games on the schedule. Knicks head to Boston to battle the Celtics. That game is on San Antonio's ESPN 1250 AM, followed by Minnesota taking on the Lakers. Bronny and LeBron together again.
Joe Reinagel.
That's the third time in 7 seasons the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Reunited, huh?
Reunited. Bronny and LeBron. Peaches and Herb. You didn't know that, did you?
Nope.
Oh.
Were they ever apart, though?
Well, but this is history, Jason. There's a difference.
It is history.
It's history.
It's going to be made in Los Angeles.
Father-son history. Oh, I can't wait.
He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. It is the Blitz here on 94.1 at San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. We appreciate that. You can always tune in on the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. Now, you think about everything going in on Los Angeles. Man, you've got the big Reunited affair happening tonight.
Yes.
History could be made. Is that game in L.A., by the way?
Yes.
Yeah, it is in L.A.,
Of course it is.
Right? Yeah. Dodgers and Yankees in the World Series.
Yeah.
Now, this has nothing to do with the World Series, but Shohei Otani, TMZ just posted a tweet. That 50-50 ball that he hit?
Yeah.
Ken Golden, the auction guy, says that ball could top $10 million at auction.
Wow. Well, I wish I'd have caught it. Holy cow. Man, that's incredible.
$10 million. His bookie is like, well, man, that would almost pay off some of my debt.
Yeah.
I have access to a lot of those Shohei Otani baseballs. I wonder if I could pay off all my debts just by auctioning off Shohei stuff.
Of course he could. Although he's in jail, isn't he?
Well, I mean, you can buy your way out.
You can?
I don't know. In some countries.
Man.
It is kind of crazy. And could you imagine if Shohei wins a World Series and gets that ring, everything else in value is going to go up. And this was supposed to be the off year for Shohei because he didn't pitch.
No, but he's still, I mean,
he's
obviously he's a hell of a hitter. There's no question about that. And when he comes back next year, he should be back on the mound as well. And it's going to be a lot of fun. But, yeah, that begs the question. And I don't know how he's doing or if he's even been cleared. But can you imagine, say, a Game 7, the World Series? I don't know. It's tied 3-3 in the bottom of the 7th.
Okay.
Where they start. Well, whatever. And you need an out? Bring Shohei Otani in.
No.
Why not?
At this point, I don't know how much pitching he's done, but I'm going to guess none. Would you be willing to risk?
That would be drama.
Could you imagine?
And if his son was with him, it'd be even better.
I mean, it would be. That would. Could you imagine if his son was with the Yankees?
Oh,
and his son was up to the plate, and he's got to pitch to his son.
Yes.
Yeah, to get that out. No, I would love to see Otani in a situation like that, having to pitch to Judge.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
That would be cool.
That would be.
I mean, this is, for a World Series featuring two teams that I hate, I'm actually very interested in seeing the Yankees and the Dodgers.
Should be a good series.
Feels
it really
like
should be. Yeah.
a classic, but the star power, the legacy logos, everything about this World Series screams it should be fantastic.
It should be.
Because baseball season really has been over for quite some time for me. But I am kind of interested in this series.
Even longer for me. So,
well, your baseball season ended in July.
No, they played pretty well.
It ended in July.
Maybe August.
I mean, they kept going through the motions, and there was hope. But your Cardinals ended in July.
Yeah, I can't argue with you. They still haven't fired the manager yet. I don't understand that. That dude needs to go. Gone.
Yeah, that's what it is. Speaking of things that need to go, we've got all these Texas Rangers World Series replica rings. They need to go. So let's give one away right now. Give it to caller 12, 210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. We've been giving them away on Instagram, and we want you to go follow at SA Sports Star on Instagram. We've given away on YouTube. Some of the just radio guys. Well, what about us? All right, caller 12. The replica World Series ring will be yours.
Nice.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776.
That's good. The radio folks need some love, too.
They do.
They do.
They do.
We appreciate it. However you're listening, it's always good.
Yep. And those World Series rings are nice.
No, they really are
good
nice.
Good for your collection.
Yes.
Yep. And if you like winning stuff, because we all do, sasportstar.com, you can go there and register to win Cowboys-Eagles tickets. You can do that.
Man.
While you're there, upload photos of what's been on your grill, because on Thursday we'll give away that $50 gift card to Tri-County Meat Market. So we judge meat on Thursday, so if you've done some grilling, go to upload those photos to the Grilling with the Blitz page. You could do that and get your picks in for this week's Pro Football Pick'em Challenge.
Yeah, I got to do that too. What'd you end up with?
What was I last week? I think I got to look.
I got 10 right.
I think I got 11 because I split last night.
I split last night too.
I had Baltimore and the Chargers last night, so I split.
Yeah.
You had Tampa Bay.
No. I had Baltimore and the Chargers on the Pro Football Pick'em.
Okay.
Now, BetUS.com, I had Tampa Bay +4, and, well, I lost.
Yeah.
It's the way it goes.
It happens.
It happens.
It happens. So, yeah, get those picks in. As long as you're beating Alexandra, you're doing okay.
Well,
in
I don't know. I think
that's the only person you're going to beat in this group.
Whoa, that was an insult to Alexandra.
Not really.
Why would you insult Alexandra like that?
Insult to you. Well, because she's picked a fight with you, figuring she's got a chance to beat you. Probably no chance of catching me in pledge unless we just have a disastrous week.
I think she actually is tied with me now, if I'm not mistaken. From what she was saying yesterday. So we'll see. I don't know. It's early. It's early.
Local winners. The local winner, grand prize winner, gets $1,000 worth of tickets from Awesome Tickets. But every week, the weekly winner gets a gift card to Mellow Mushroom. So Make sure you get those picks in at sasportstar.com. Jerry Jones today really didn't apologize, but he kind of did. We'll talk about his radio appearance, his much-anticipated radio appearance, coming up here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. If you're having any issues at the house with your plumbing or your air conditioner, you know there is one company to call, and that is Quartermoon Plumbing, Heating, and AC, 210-651-5899, 651-5899. At Quartermoon, they are experts at worst-case scenarios, big job, small job, residential or commercial. Their service trucks are fully stocked, and they have all the equipment needed for any job. No commission, sales reps. They'll provide estimates and second opinions, and they have a great experienced staff that has earned an A-plus ranking with the Better Business Bureau. And at Quartermoon, they are green certified. It's October 22nd. If you haven't had your heater tuned up yet, make sure you call Quartermoon. They've got great maintenance programs. Make sure your heater is ready for when we actually do need it, which probably in the next couple of weeks, maybe a couple months. You're going to turn the heater on. You want to make sure it works and it's ready. Call Quartermoon, 210-651-5899, 651-5899, or online at quartermoonplumbing.com.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one and has some fun with the morning huddles. AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
Now, you don't got a contract. You got nothing to lose. Is a 70-yard field goal in the offing soon? Will we see that this year?
Depends on the win this week.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Not all pizza places are the same. Mellow Mushroom originated hand-tossed, stone-baked classic Southern pizza. Not in the mood for pizza? Order a calzone, hoagie, sandwich, burger, or a mellow salad and see how care goes into every item on the menu. Take your pick from 24 draft beers and or handcrafted cocktails. And many of the pizzas can be made gluten-free or vegan. Mellow Mushroom is at 1604 in Stone Oak Parkway. Hang with friends, watch the game, and mellow out at Mellow Mushroom.
House of Cards and Collectibles is having a huge 10th anniversary sale this Saturday. Thousands of unsorted sports cards will be on sale along with discounted card supplies. Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh!, One Piece, and Lorcana will also be sale priced. Bring the kids for the costume contest, take pictures with Pikachu, and free door prizes every hour. Remember, this Saturday, doors open at 12 noon. House of Cards and Collectibles at 2105 Vance Jackson. See you there.
If you're tired of drinking the same old beer, good news for you, friends. Karbach Brewing has you covered. They've got something for everybody in their lineup. No matter what you like, they can improve on what you've been drinking. Whether it's a Hopadillo, a Love Street, or a Crawford Bock, they've got something for everybody. And Karbach has one of the leading IPAs in San Antonio, Hopadillo IPA, an iconic Texas IPA packed with the bitterness of hops from around the world that the hop monster craves. And one of Karbach's leading brands, the top seller in San Antonio, in fact, is the Love Street Blonde. It's a state of mind, a San Antonio state of mind. It's a Kolsch-style blonde, hopped delicately with floral German hops. This beer has the clean malt profile that you're looking for. And if you're used to drinking cerveza, they've got that as well. The Karbach Cerveza Especial is right for you. Like I said, something for everybody. And when you're in Houston, make sure you go check out the brewery, check out all the beers they have on tap. But while you're here in San Antonio, you want to try something new, why don't you try out a Karbach?
Get your holidays started with the perfect tree in your perfect style from the Home Depot. Whether you want something that you can assemble in a few clicks, steal the show with over 2,000 color-changing bulbs, or a tree with lights that can be controlled by remote or foot pedal. The Home Depot has it all in our huge assortment of premium trees. Plus, get free delivery on over 2 million items this holiday from the Home Depot. Subject to availability, see homedepot.com/delivery for details.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to hims.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
911, what's your emergency?
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In San Antonio, 5 domestic violence calls happen every hour.
The time to end domestic violence in our community is now.
Step out of violence.
You are not alone.
Call 211 for help. Call 911 if it's an emergency.
All right, when it comes to getting life insurance for your family, a lot of excuses can get in the way. But ask yourself this: if something were to happen to me, who would pay the mortgage, the kids' education, and the other bills? Then forget the excuses and check out Ethos Life, the online, easy way to get life insurance in 10 minutes. Ethos has rates that you can afford, like a $500,000 policy for a 40-year-old male starting at $1 a day or $30 a month, with a few health questions and no medical exam. Get your free quote right now at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com. Not available in all states. Rates do vary.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. It's a matchup between two undefeated conference opponents as the Aggies take on the LSU Tigers. Presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. On Twitter, at Joe Reinagel210. Tweet at me, at Jason Minnix. The station, at SA Sports Star. Make sure you're following all. Same on Instagram. Make sure you're following all on Instagram as well. You know, on Friday mornings, Mike McCarthy is on with the Morning Huddle, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. On Thursday, we'll have Stephen Jones this week. He missed last week. Scheduled miss before Jerry blew up on the boys last week on the Fan because of the bye week. He'll make his return on Thursday, as Jerry made his return this morning on 105.3 The Fan. Very anticipated interview, and quite honestly, you listen to Jerry, he didn't offer an apology per se. He never said, I'm sorry or I apologize, but you could kind of tell with some of his words that the apology was there. They made nice. He made nice with the boys.
He did. Yeah, he made nice with them for sure, and that was good. He needed to. Look, it could have been all the reasons we talked about. Obviously, frustration with the butt kicking they got at the hands of the Detroit Lions, wanting to get the pressure off his head coach and his players. Although today he didn't do his head coach any favors.
No. And a lot of that has to do with Derrick Henry. And that's what kind of led to the blow-up last week, Derrick Henry. And every time we watch a Derrick Henry game, everybody brings up, well, he could have been a Cowboy. Sounds like a Toby Keith song. Should have been a Cowboy.
Yeah.
And Jerry doubling down on he didn't fit with the Dallas Cowboys.
But the point is that we've, in my mind, we're not playing very good football right now at all. And it's beyond whether or not we have Derrick Henry or not. Derrick Henry is having a career year. I don't know if he'd be having that career year in our situation. And that's really something you really do have to look at, because if he had not had as many carries as our running backs have had, then he certainly probably wouldn't have attained the level of impact he's having. And then he's a real good complement to the type of offense they run. We don't run that type of offense at all. Our situation is more about, frankly, it's more about holding your blocks. It's more about not making mistakes. It's more about, in my mind, the receivers running through a tough man-to-man coverage and running on through it. And, if you will, get away from that. The types of things that we all think we should be looking at is, well, we're designing bad plays, or we're designing bad concepts.
What?
The facts are that there's some of that, but there's also some of execution. There's some of...
Okay, hang on. So Jerry is saying there that Mike McCarthy, the play caller and play designer, is designing bad plays that they're not executing well. Did I get that right?
I would say that's accurate, yes.
So we're designing bad plays and then not executing them well.
Yes. So how do you execute a bad play?
Well, I
That's
mean,
the question,
I mean,
right?
again, you know, let's just hear that part again from Jerry Jones.
Well, we're designing bad plays, or we're designing bad concepts. The facts are that there's some of that, but there's also some of execution.
How do you not agree with that statement? If you've watched any of the games, especially just last week or the Detroit game, I mean, nobody was doing anything. There was no execution. The play calling, you can question that all you want to, because Mike McCarthy is clearly getting away from the run game. He doesn't trust it and doesn't think he's got running backs to execute that, or he just wants to throw the football. Either way, you can question that too. I think Jerry's spot on.
When you look at, I do agree with that. I mean, the whole Jerry comment about would Derrick Henry be having a career year in this Cowboys offense? There's a couple of different ways you could look at that. He wouldn't get the same number of touches.
Would he not?
Well, here's.
I mean, if you had a guy like that.
Well, that's it. I mean, if you take the touches that the Cowboys running backs are getting, you say, all right, but would his touches be more impactful than what the current Cowboys running backs are getting? I think the answer is yes. But also, every good coach, every coach worth his salt will figure out the talent he has and call plays based on that talent. All right? So if you've got a dynamic running back like a Derrick Henry, then you would utilize him. If you've got, I don't know, Zeke with nothing left in the tank, you get away from the run game. So I think Mike McCarthy is calling plays and trying to design plays that fit the talent that he has. He's got a bunch of guys that can't get open behind an offensive line that can't hold a block. So how do you design a play that's going to take 0.8 seconds to get from snap to release on a pass play?
Well, I mean, he's got his work cut out for him, that's for sure. Like, Derrick Henry only carried the ball 15 times last night. 169 yards on 15 carries.
Yeah, I mean, most of that was on that one run.
Well, it was 81 yards, so he got another 81 in the other 14.
He didn't have a lot of carries in the first part of that game.
But, and they were talking about that on the broadcast last night. Why is Derrick Henry not in there? The difference is, this is not a shot at Dak Prescott. The difference is Lamar Jackson is a threat to run the football as well. Dak is not. So the defense has got to be concerned about both of those guys. And I think that is, if that's what Jerry's talking about in the system, then I agree with him, because you've got two guys that the defense has to worry about on each and every play. And I think that is helping Derrick Henry.
And Derrick Henry is a great fit.
Yes.
And a great pairing for Lamar Jackson. And every NFL team that could have had Derrick Henry that did not go after Derrick Henry, and he ends up in Baltimore, they're all kicking themselves. I mean, hell, Joe and Troy were talking about that last night on the Monday night broadcast.
There's got to be a lot of teams out there that had opportunities to bring in Derrick Henry that are kind of kicking themselves for not doing it. But he has been an absolute perfect fit for this Ravens attack. This one's batted down off the hand of Levante David. Can you think of any teams offhand that... I'll just throw this out there. The offseason home for Derrick Henry is in Dallas, Texas. Anyway, Levante David got his hand on that.
Yeah.
Trying to stir the pot there, Joe Buck.
He was trying to stir the pot, and it's there. Although one thing that we did learn this morning from Jerry Jones in his appearance on 105.3 The Fan, Troy Aikman did make some comments about the Cowboys receivers late last week about how poor they run routes, including one CeeDee Lamb. Now, everybody else with the Cowboys organization, from Mike McCarthy to various players, all have kind of dismissed Troy's comments, not Jerry Jones.
Troy knows football, my goodness. He lives it. When he was here, he's one of the most astute and hardworking people I've ever seen at evaluating tape or looking at how a team is playing. Troy's credible, boy, and should be. And not only that, you can imagine he's not just interested in taking a whack at the Cowboys. He feels as much or more than anybody does about the Cowboys. He's very professional. I think he's very fair. And certainly you can look at what we've been doing. You can look at such things as the separation compared to other teams. That's that analytics that you work with today. But fundamentally, I was talking with Mike, and our players need to work on, when they've got tight coverage, they need to work on pushing on through physical contact, pushing on through it. Now, that's just an example. That's not the only thing. But I'm pretty confident that we've got the ability to coach, and we've got some receivers that take the coaching and can improve. That's the big thing, improve.
Improve is the big thing. They certainly need to do that. But look, if you've watched these games, especially that Detroit game, those wide receivers weren't doing anything to help out their quarterback. They just weren't.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. David, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Good afternoon, guys. Hey, I just think on this whole Derrick Henry stuff, the guy would have been phenomenal with the boys, regardless of who he had on the line, because he makes his own routes. He doesn't just follow a script. Jerry, I think he just wants to prove a point and make himself look better for overcommitting and almost $500 million to the passing game. And he says, I'm going to spend this much money. We're going to freaking prove that I'm right and damned everything else. And those are just my opinions, guys. Thanks.
Appreciate it, David.
Well, I mean, Jerry's been trying to prove he was right since the day he fired Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, there's no question about it. That's why it took so long to get Jimmy in the Ring of Honor. I don't know. I think some of it, Jason, I think David is on to something, because I've been saying this too. I just think Jerry said, we're going to go into this. If I'm going to pay you guys, you better produce. And thus far, well, they're 3-3. We'll see what happens in the next 2 weeks.
And can we also look at, when we're going to be fair about Derrick Henry, because it was the Cowboys needed a running back. He lived in Dallas. By all indications, he wanted to be a Cowboy. And the Cowboys didn't even call him. But not a lot of teams seem to be calling Derrick Henry. There are a lot of teams that thought his gas tank was empty.
Mm-hmm.
Baltimore didn't. And quite frankly, Baltimore is probably getting a lot more out of Derrick Henry than what they expected when they signed him. Because you look at the other receivers there, they were kind of thinking short yardage, situational football, and he shows up, he's in shape, he's faster than what a lot of people thought. But there was not a bidding war for Derrick Henry. It almost felt like Cowboys didn't call, Baltimore did. It was the offer he had. I don't know how many offers he had, but I don't remember hearing about any others. It was like, all right, well, hell, I guess I'll go to Baltimore because I still want to get paid NFL dollars.
You know, it's kind of like when you draft Taco Charlton. You kind of regret those decisions, right? I mean, I'm just saying, that's a great comparison.
Is it?
Sure.
No.
Where did that even come from? Taco Charleston out of left field.
Well, I'm just saying, that was a mistake. It was a mistake not to sign Derrick Henry.
It's looking like a mistake not to sign somebody. And again, you look at that. What's the opposite of buyer's remorse, or when you don't actually make the purchase? You know, it's a regret. You know, if you have a chance to invest in something that turns out to be, man, that was a great investment. I missed out on millions.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. It's called buyer's remorse, but whatever that term is.
FOMO.
There's a lot of FOMO going on. Taco Charlton was just a bad decision.
Yeah.
That's a bad decision. His heartburn just thinking about that.
Oh.
Good Lord. On Taco Tuesday. That's where it's left field. He's hungry.
Tacos.
He's hungry. He's thinking about LeBron James tonight, going and watching LeBron and Bronny on Taco Tuesday of all days.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Get home and make a brisket, throw out some beer in the cooler, and watch UTEP.
Man, dude, Sam Houston is playing tonight. You can watch Sam Houston FIU. And whatever game you're watching, you want to make them a lot more fun. Make sure you're playing the Pick'em game at Underdog Fantasy. Now, we're all this talk about Derrick Henry, and I said yesterday, guy has scored in every game. They had Derrick Henry on the Pick'em entry at higher than 0.5 touchdown. You want that. That's going to turn green. the kicking points for Tucker, that turned green. Although my entry last night got refunded because of the injury to Mike Evans, and that's one of the great things that they will do for you on Underdog Fantasy. And it's basketball time as well with the NBA starting tonight. Make sure you're playing at Underdog Fantasy. Get signed up. Use my promo code STAR to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash and a free pick. UnderdogFantasy.com or download the Underdog Fantasy app. And Underdog, they're going to be running a special, a promo, a bonus almost every single day, like Profit Boost, where you can pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries. Discounts where you'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better chance at getting that win. Free picks, they're basically a sure thing. Like I saw one today for Jalen Brunson. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 for that pick to win. All new users also get a free pick, and it's Boostober. Now until October 27th, you can boost your profit on all NBA entries by 20%. So basically, Underdog is giving you unlimited profit boosts to make basketball picks. Download the app, sign up with promo code STAR, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. Promo code STAR at Underdog Fantasy. Must be over 18, present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, we got NBA to talk about. We'll look back at your world champions.
And midweek college football. Does it get any better? Can it get worse? All that and more started at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Testosterone plays a significant role in regulating fat metabolism and distribution in the body. It also helps to reduce serious health risks down the line. I'm Manny with Rock's Discount Vitamins, and we carry the highest quality natural testosterone boosters on the market. It immediately provides you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improves your mood. With 11 San Antonio area locations, find us at rocksdiscountvitamins.com. That's rocksdiscountvitamins.com. We thank God and you for all the support.
The Halloween parties at the Roof Up have become legendary. Plan now for the biggest and best Halloween party in San Antonio this Friday. Kick off the party weekend at the 11th annual Halloween party with DJs inside the Roof Up and Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. No cover charge and a $1,000 costume contest at midnight. This is the Halloween party you don't want to miss. This Friday night, the Halloween party of the year. We'll see you at the Roo and wear a costume.
It's time to review the top 3 highlights of the day. I'm joined as always by my co-anchor Snoop.
Hey, what up, though?
Snoop, number 1 has to be getting the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence at T-Mobile.
Yeah, you should hustle down to T-Mobile like a dog chasing a squirrel chasing a nut.
Nice analogy, Snoop. Dogs do love to chase squirrels.
And squirrels love to chase those nuts.
On to highlight number 2, at T-Mobile, families can save 20% every month versus the other big guys.
That is very impressive. You know, y'all can take some of those savings and buy some Snoop merchandise.
That's exactly what I'm planning on doing with my savings, Snoop. Now, take it away, Snoop.
Head to T-Mobile.com and get the new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on them. Now drop that jingle.
With 24 monthly bill credits, eligible trade-in on Go 5G Next. Well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 connection charge. Cancel entire account before receiving 24 bill credits, and credit stop and balance on required finance agreement too. Bill credits end if you pay off device early. See how you can save versus the other big guys at T-Mobile.com/switch. Apple Intelligence coming fall 2024.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Say
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks VapoStick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors.
Use as directed. VapoStick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max use for adults.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Hi, I'm attorney Steve Benke. If you've made the decision to divorce, you need an experienced attorney who can help. I've helped many people get through divorce, custody, child support, and alimony problems. Call me. I'm attorney Steve Benke.
210-DIVORCE or go to BenkeLaw.com.
The Morning Huddle.
The wrong ones were doing the questioning. Now, if those had been real fans sitting there, or if there had been people that knew what they were talking about, football people, I might have had a different answer.
So who is allowed? Who is allowed to question Jerry?
People who don't have the platform to do it. Real fans.
Real fans.
Yeah. The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. On Thursday, the Blitz is going to be live out at Little Woodrow's on Braun Road. Obviously, the Thursday night game, Minnesota against Los Angeles. Should be interesting. Plus, we've got tickets to give away for the Dallas-Philadelphia game in Arlington and passes to the Bill Bates Ultimate Tailgate Party, which I can tell you is a blast.
I think that's interesting this Thursday night, Minnesota and the Rams. The Rams have already indicated they're willing to trade Cooper Kupp for a second-round pick, and there's rumors flying all over the place that they may be ready to deal Matthew Stafford as well to the Minnesota Vikings.
Well, so Kevin O'Connell was his OC, so they could reunite. Even though the Rams are 5-1, do they have the belief that Sam Darnold can lead them to the Super Bowl? So, you know, you go play that game in Los Angeles and put Matt on the plane and bring him home with you with the luggage?
Could be. Could very well be. That would be interesting to see Matthew Stafford playing for Minnesota, where he'd have to go up against his old Detroit Lions for that division title, obviously, because Minnesota struggles with Detroit for whatever reason, or they have lately anyway.
If you are Minnesota and all in, even though according to Jerry, nobody knows what that definition really is, the fact that is Sam Darnold the kind of guy that can lead you to a Super Bowl? We know Matt Stafford can be that guy, and the familiarity with KOC. So I think that makes it there. And if the Rams at 2-4 are ready to have a fire sale as they continue to pay the price for going all in and winning the Super Bowl, and again, is one Super Bowl worth a couple of years of really bad football? As a Cowboy fan, I'd like to find out, Jerry. But Jerry's always on a 5-year plan because his definition of all in is very different than Stan's definition of all in. Because Stan got a ring, even though they've been crap since.
Well, I don't know. Is winning 3 straight Super Bowls worth 30 years of being crap? I mean, I'm just saying, or not winning another one?
Well, who won 3 straight?
Well, 3 Super Bowls in the 90s. Cowboys did.
Oh, okay, but I mean, the Rams recently, they go all in.
Yeah.
They win 1, but they've been bad ever since. And so, I mean, I would like to win 1. Yes.
Go all in and win 1. I think you could put up with a couple of bad years if you got a trophy.
We put up with a lot of bad years without.
Yes, that's what I mean. So I think, yeah, I would do it. I would take that trade-off.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. Hey, Dom, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
Hey, yeah, so going back to Jerry and, him making his statements, honestly, I feel like anything that Jerry says from now on, we can just go ahead and chalk it up to the fact that he's got to play, he's got to try to make up ground for him making a bonehead decision. I think we all know that. But what I will give him is, he may be kind of right when he says that it may not have been the right situation for Derrick Henry. Like, I've seen our offensive line. And I think one thing we can definitely say in the NFL the past couple of years is it's all about the situation. I mean, Odell Beckham, Saquon to freaking Philly. Like, we've seen these guys go from terrible situations to much better ones and excel. Hell, Derrick Henry, he wasn't producing like he's producing now. He's the same player, but people were ready to write him off with his performance last year when he was on the Titans. The whole time it was the offensive line that was not good.
Yeah, but Henry was still pretty decent on a really bad football team last year. 1,100 yards. I think he had 12 touchdowns. I'm saying, and nobody's saying he expected what he's doing now, but, I mean, the guy still a pretty solid running back. But I agree. And the fact that we're still talking about Derrick Henry is kind of weird because he ain't coming to Dallas, and I think Derrick Henry is probably happy as hell he didn't come to Dallas.
The question, and we don't know, do I think Derrick Henry is happy with the way things are going? Yes, and if Baltimore goes and wins a Super Bowl, he's going to be thrilled. And the question that none of us will ever be able to truly answer, it's all speculation. If Derrick Henry was a Cowboy, what kind of success would he be having? What kind of success would the Cowboys be having? Quite frankly, the offense would be different. In their 3 losses, they've just flat been blown out. Are they blown out but still losing to others? Does that make you feel better? But I know the offense, because the defense is bad, whether you got Derrick Henry or not, if Mike McCarthy is going to abandon his game plan and go 2-minute, 4-minute offense in the second quarter because they're down 2 touchdowns and trying to make it all up, you're not running the ball anyway. So I don't know if Derrick Henry, I do agree with Jerry, would he be having a career year if he were in Dallas? Probably not. But would he be having a better year, and would the Cowboys be having a better year if you had, I don't know, the threat of a run game?
Well, I think so. And if you could run the football and take some time off the clock, it keeps your defense off the field, which is why they're falling behind so much. Their defense just hasn't been very good. But look, Mike McCarthy, he's got the hand he's playing with.
Yep.
He's going to have to come up with and be creative. Jerry's absolutely right about that. He's got to be creative. He's got to do some things to buy Dak Prescott some time and allow those receivers to get open.
210-656-ESPN, 656-3776. We go from a Dom to a Doc. Hey, Doc, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man?
What's up, fellas? How y'all doing?
Good.
I don't think it doesn't matter who the Cowboys get. It's just a terrible culture, and it all falls back on Jerry Jones. He knows what he was doing by not getting help for Dak. He gave him the money, and it's almost like he said, I'm going to give you the money, but I'm not going to put a supporting cast around you. And you guys have been saying it all summer long. They did not get better, and he's too smart of a person to not improve that team. And I think Troy Aikman should maybe be the GM. Maybe Troy can light a fire in that team, but even if we had Derrick Henry, there's no help around him. There's no linemen. There's nothing to – it's just the culture is just so bad in Dallas. They're probably one of the worst teams in the NFL right now. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. That was a pretty strong statement. I mean, they're 3-3 at this point in time. Their losses have been bad, yes, but look, you can blame – everybody wants to blame Jerry Jones. How about Mike McCarthy? He's talking to those players – on a one-to-one basis every day. He's the one that says, didn't Dak Prescott say we got to practice harder? Mm-hmm. That's not Jerry Jones saying that. That are responsible for that. That's Mike McCarthy. I don't know. I think when you're talking culture, at least for this year's team and the problems they're having, you got to point your finger at Mike.
Well, yes and no, because the circus that comes with being a part of the Dallas Cowboys, that's been Jerry Jones' MO for years. And some people enjoy it, some don't. Mike McCarthy talked about that the other day. I mean, you know, it comes with the territory. The in-locker room stuff, hearing Mike talk the other day about our GPS numbers are good, but we've got to pay more attention to detail, that just tells me you're going through motions. You're focused on the wrong thing. I'd rather have worse GPS numbers but more crisp practices. Dak talking about practices. Jerry Jones talking about bad plays and concepts. We've designed bad plays and concepts. That's let's hear Jerry this morning.
Well, we're designing bad plays, or we're designing bad concepts. The facts are that there's some of that, but there's also some of execution.
Okay, so they're designing bad plays and concepts, and then they're not executing them well. So that's doubling down on bad. That's bad. But that's Mike McCarthy. He's the play caller. He's the offensive genius. I see people in our YouTube comments say, fire Shoddy. All right, Brian Schottenheimer, you're the offensive coordinator, dude. Somebody's got to get fired. It's you. I don't know if I should be mad at Brian Schottenheimer, but I am disappointed in the coaches that will go to a podium and try to highlight high GPS numbers because the effort is there, but in the same breath say we're not doing a good enough job at attention to detail.
Oh, that's pretty important, I would think, attention to detail when you're playing in the National Football League. I think McCarthy's had his chance. And again, we can argue and go back and look at whether the Cowboys should have kept McCarthy or not. It made him a lame duck coach. We predicted that this would happen if the Cowboys were 3-3 at this point. I don't think anybody predicted that they would get their butts handed to them the way that they have, especially at home. But Mike McCarthy may not be right for this team. Look, it's easy to criticize Jerry. It is. But Jerry's doing what Jerry's always done. You know, we can look back just a few years ago when Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys had the best offensive line in football. How'd they get that? They drafted those guys. Mm-hmm. And so he's just doing the same thing he's always done. Maybe he should try something different because that hadn't worked out in Super Bowl championships. But he's doing the exact same thing that he's always done. You draft and develop. That's what the Cowboys do. That's what they've always done. Very seldom do they add free agent talent. And so, we can sit here and blame Jerry Jones. I'm fine with that if you want to make that argument. But he's doing the same thing he's always done. And nothing's changed this year.
I look at he could have done more this offseason.
With what?
Well, what do you mean with what?
With what? Free agents?
I mean, like last year, bringing in Cooks and Gilmore, they were strategically sneaky good moves.
Sure.
Not big splashes, but sneaky good moves. There were some running backs that were available, not named Derrick Henry, that could have been sneaky good moves. And if you would have taken care of CD or Dak earlier, you could have freed up some money to have some more of those sneaky good moves. As the general manager, the roster construction here is pretty piss poor with some glaring issues that they had last year, and they didn't address them this year. He also said, I think it was at the Senior Bowl, Dak might have to do more with less, which is a very bad plan because we've all watched Dak Prescott enough to know that he needs more help. We don't think, I don't know, other than Jerry Jones, anybody that thinks you might get more out of Dak with less around him. So that is a poor Jerry Jones decision. Well, somebody on YouTube asked we should do a segment on the top 10 worst decisions Jerry has made. And my goodness, that 10 worst?
Can you think of them?
Well, I can think of a lot of them, but then to try to organize them and how, because some of his decisions, they look bad initially and then end up good. It's even like Amari Cooper, but he explained it in Jerry's mind. Amari Cooper, that was a good decision. Now we don't need to play it. But basically he said they went out, they did a financial move and the Browns just did a picks move. That's why the compensation is different. So sometimes you get a little nugget like that and you go, okay, whatever your motivation was behind the move might be different than what most of us outsiders are thinking. But inside the room, you have a reason for what you did. And he talked about his goal was to save money. Their goal was to get more picks. All right, different motivations. You're happy with the end result, even though everybody else thinks you got robbed. All right, cool. But in your mind, you won. Kind of like the first Dak deal he did.
Well, sure, but what about the second one? Because now he's handcuffed for 5 years or the next 4.
You say he's handcuffed. He put the cuffs on himself.
He did.
He did that. He's not handcuffed. He doesn't look at himself as being handcuffed.
But everybody said they had to do it. You have to sign Dak Prescott.
They did.
No, they didn't.
No, they did.
They didn't.
Because they didn't plan for life after Dak Prescott.
They could have planned for life without.
They could have, but they didn't.
But
so now
matter.
They're stuck with him.
You let him play out this year and then go from there.
And what?
Let
Go
him hit
get
free
Aiden
agency.
O'Connell or Gardner Minshew?
Sure, and draft a quarterback. Yes, you do that, but at least you can add some talent around this football team. And you can't do that now. It's going to be very difficult to do that because you're going to give Micah Parsons a big contract, most likely. And then what? You got to fill in around him, and that's going to be very difficult to do. You let Dak go, you get a mediocre quarterback and put some team. Look at the San Francisco 49ers. You know, and I'm not saying Brock Purdy's mediocre, but he's certainly not one of the greats. And when he's got those players around him, he gets the job done.
He does.
So, yes, that's why I think it was a huge mistake to sign Prescott and lock him in for the foreseeable future. I think it was that right now is my number one Jerry mistake.
And that might prove to be very true. But, and again, my defense of that isn't because I love Dak Prescott, even though most of you don't believe that, or some of you don't. But the reality is, had the Cowboys 2 years ago drafted a quarterback, last year drafted a quarterback and had him sitting there, kind of like a Brock Purdy as a 7th-round pick. Oh, man, that guy's pretty good. Tony Romo was an undrafted free agent. Hey, man, that guy's pretty good. Dak was a 4th-round guy. None of those guys made it to their teams with the expectation of being the guy. Tom Brady is a 6th-round guy. Wasn't, man, this guy's going to be the greatest. But you had somebody in the system that might be that guy.
Jerry thought he found him. And let's face it.
And the Cowboys never addressed that. So that's why they had to sign Dak Prescott, because at 82, Jerry isn't going to start over.
Well, Jerry ain't going to win with this team the way it's constructed now. And I don't see any improvement coming. So you say that all the time. Well, he's not going to change. Well, you might want to try something different. I mean, what you've been doing ain't working.
It's only been 30 years. You got to give it time.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and let it cook some more.
And honestly, I think part of the biggest problem with the Cowboys' plan that hasn't worked is they're constantly operating on a 5-year plan. And they talk about that. So the idea of going all in, and, you know, Jerry uses the credit card analogy far too often, but at some point, do you bite the bullet? Now, next year, Guyton and Beebe, maybe they're going to be better, and that offensive line's going to be good, or better, but you got to go replace a Zach Martin. You know, what do you do with a DeMarcus Lawrence? Do you free up some money in free agency to go fill up some of those holes? And I don't know, maybe this you go, you know what? Having a running back's not a bad thing, man. I like what Detroit does with theirs. They got 2 of them.
They do, and both of them are pretty good.
And paid.
Yeah, it's funny. On a YouTube channel, David Messia says, number 1, firing Jimmy Johnson. And maybe that's the case, but I think that had to happen at the time that it happened. But I could put that on the list for sure. I don't know if it'd be number 1. I'll still go back to Dak. He has handcuffed.
I love you, Dak.
He has handcuffed his team for the next 4 years.
He has not handcuffed his team.
He has. Not Dak. Jerry.
All right. I mean, just blame the right guy.
Jerry handcuffed his team by making that pitiful decision.
Or did he handcuff the team by not planning properly?
Well, both, perhaps.
We'll continue the argument coming up here on The Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville.
1, 2, 3,
South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Sunday night at 7:20. After a bye, it's the first of 2 road games. Dallas and San Francisco taking on the 49ers.
I like this kind of party!
Pre-game starts at 6. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds and Ewald Kubota.
You asked for it, you got it! How about them Cowboys?
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. South Texas home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Buying or selling a home is a big deal. Literally. It's one of the largest financial transactions you're likely to make. So work with someone who will work with your best interests in mind. Someone who agrees to operate with transparency, honesty, and fairness every step of the way. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors and are bound by a strict code of ethics that requires they put your interests above their own. Because that's who we are. Make sure your agent is a Realtor.
Lowe's knows it's easier to make the right calls when you have the right team. That's why our Lowe's Red Vest associates can help with game time decisions. Plus, use in-store mode on the Lowe's app to find what you need. Under pressure at home and want it soon? Order online by 2 p.m. to get it same day. Same day valid on eligible in-stock items and select zip codes only. Subject to driver availability. Fees vary based on purchase. Exclusions and more terms apply. See Lowe's.com/same-day delivery for details.
911, what's your emergency?
October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. In San Antonio, 5 domestic violence calls happen every hour.
The time to end domestic violence in our community is now.
Step out of violence.
You are not alone.
Call 211 for help. Call 911 if it's an emergency.
Halloween's coming alive at Target. Jackie and Gordy, the Jack-O-Lanterns, here with a front porch view of Target's Halloween deals, like Best House on the Block trick-or-treat candy starting at $5.99.
Sweet. Don't forget, can't wait to wear it costumes from $15.
Can't wait to see it. Oh, and decorating and pumpkin carving kits for $5.
That's how I got my big toothy grin.
This week only, trick-or-treat candy starts at $5.99, costumes from $15, and decorating and pumpkin carving kits for $5. Make your Halloween come alive at Target. Restrictions apply.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Let me ask you a question. Is your roof ready for anything? Well, Stevens Roofing, a locally owned company, has been serving our community for decades. Whether it's a commercial project or residential, or repairing your old roof, or maybe installing a new one, they've got you covered. And now Stevens offers solar. Stevens Solar Solutions can save you money and energy. Stevens Roofing, quality craftsmanship, solar solutions, and local expertise under one roof. Call 210-785-0994 or go to stevensroofing.net.
George gets justice.
Hurt in a wreck? Get George. Hit by an 18-wheeler or commercial truck? Get George. Injured at work? Get George. When you're dealing with personal injury, you need to get George because George gets justice. I'm George Salinas, and my San Antonio-based firm has been recognized across the state of Texas and the United States. Call George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit getgeorge.com.
George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Methodist Care Now Urgent Care has over 19 locations throughout San Antonio, open 7 days a week. From injuries and illnesses to school and sports physicals, Care Now Urgent Care is here to help you feel better fast. Find a location near you at carenow.com and use our convenient web check-in today.
The 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard is hiring both full and part-time positions with over 180 different career choices, including cyber, healthcare, communications, avionics, electronics, and more. The Texas Air National Guard offers a variety of ways you can serve. Earn education benefits that would cover tuition towards a bachelor's degree. To learn more, Google the 149th Fighter Wing. That's the 149th Fighter Wing of the Texas Air National Guard.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
San Antonio Sports Stars $50K Pro Football Pick'em giveaway is back. Head to USASportsStar.com and pick the winners of each pro football game every week to earn points for each correct pick. Highest points each week wins a $25 gift card to Mellow Mushroom. Highest points overall scores $1,000 worth of tickets from A Awesome Tickets. Pick the winning ticket of every regular season game. Win the grand prize, $50,000. This is an audience national contest across multiple markets. The $50K Pro Football Giveaway. Register and win at SASportsStar.com. San Antonio's Sports Center.
The NBA regular season tips off tonight. Couple of games on the schedule. The New York Knicks head to Boston to battle the Celtics. That game can be heard on San Antonio's ESPN 1250 AM beginning at 6 o'clock, followed by the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Lakers in L.A. Bronny and LeBron expected to play together at some point in that game. The Spurs, they've got to wait a little while. They open up the regular season in Dallas on Thursday.
SportsCenter is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
Joe Reinagel.
And for the third time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Jason Minnix.
They go back to big day as Super Bowl champions. Dallas 52, Buffalo 17.
It's the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix.
Happy Tuesday.
Hey, NBA opening day Tuesday.
Wow. Looking
History
forward to that
tonight.
Knicks-Boston game. That'll be fun.
You going to stay up late past your bedtime?
I don't think so. Probably not. I'm going to have to miss history and regret it the rest of my life. What am I going to do? I'd rather watch paint dry.
Oh, good Lord. at least it's NBA basketball.
It is
it's
NBA
the regular
basketball.
season. It's opening day.
I do want to see how – I think Minnesota's going to be pretty decent. The Lakers, I don't know.
They're going to suck.
I mean, I really don't know. I couldn't tell you one way or the other how good or not good they're going to be. But it is NBA basketball. Yes, I will be watching.
Mm-hmm. There's football on tonight, too.
There is.
Sam Houston.
Which is pretty cool.
Bearcats, that Tuesday night thriller. They got FIU.
I think they're a 4.5-point favorite tonight.
Are
on
they
the
really?
road, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hockey, New Jersey. My Devils take on Tampa Bay. My Stars, they're in Buffalo, taking on the Sabres.
I'd rather watch LeBron cuddle with Bronny.
Cuddle? God.
Jeez. What a made-for-TV moment. Good for Adam Silver. It's going to work because the ratings are going to be huge.
Are they?
Who has is it TNT tonight? I don't know who has the games.
It's a great question.
I hope it's TNT. At least that'll be entertaining. Charles Barkley.
Mm-hmm.
It is TNT. Thank you, Pledge.
Both games, right?
I would assume that's the case. Typically, they do that, right?
Yeah, and then the early game tonight over on San Antonio's ESPN at 1250. If you want to listen to it, we'll have it on the radio for you. Pledge sent us a deal, and he's laughing with that loud, obnoxious, fake-sounding laugh, which is kind of ironic because it's making fun of the University of Texas at Austin.
Uh-huh.
And this is probably not the week for a Longhorn to make fun of a Longhorn. I mean, there's still a sting of that bite from the Bulldogs on Saturday.
Yes, there is.
And so before you make fun of the Longhorns for this, and this isn't them, but it is, Vince Young, VY, he has been named a member of the 2024 SEC Legends class.
Oh, explain to me how that happens.
Well, Vince Young is an SEC legend.
Well, did Vince, he never played in the SEC.
No bleep.
Well, how could he be an SEC legend?
Because they sent him an email and said, hey, dude, guess what? You're an SEC legend. We're going to have a banquet probably in Atlanta, and you'd probably get a nice plaque to put on the wall.
So is that just, now that Texas is in the SEC, every player
not
that
every
played
player
is grandfathered in?
Yeah, well, essentially, yes. That works. So every school, every year gets an SEC legend. And before you make fun of it, Aggies, before you make fun of it, our good friend and former teammate here, Dat Wynn, was a 2013 SEC legend. He was the second Aggie to be named an SEC legend.
I guess they just don't want to leave somebody out. Who's going to be for Oklahoma? Adrian Peterson?
I don't know. I didn't look. I don't give a damn about OU.
I'm
it's
just saying.
508.
They got to have
suck.
somebody.
Yeah, John David Crow was the first Aggie SEC legend. Vince Young will be the first Texas Longhorn SEC legend.
Well, good for Vince.
Yeah. And when you look at some of the guys, Ray Mickens, Dave Elmendorf, Ray Childress, I think the only Aggie SEC legend that actually played in the SEC is Johnny Football.
Ah, okay.
Right? Some of those guys are in the old Southwest Conference. So before you make fun, Aggies, that Vince Young is an SEC legend, check the record. And Pledge being a Longhorn guy, laughing, oh, this is stupid. Why? Because that's what they do.
That's what they do.
Yes, the Aggies got added to the SEC Legends group in 2012. So every year when the SEC does this, every school gets a legend, and from the year you start. So I don't know how they chose Vince Young over Earl Campbell or over, I don't know, other Heisman Trophy winners. Ricky, I don't know. Because Vince didn't even win the Heisman, although Reggie Bush stole the trophy, but at least Reggie's got it back. He got a natty. But, yeah, I don't know how they choose, how they decide, but I know that's the rule.
Well, so next year after Vince, would it go back to somebody that actually played in the SEC, or would they keep going back?
No, as I said, since 2012 when the Aggies went in, the only guy that is in the SEC Legends Club from Texas A&M that played in the SEC is Johnny Manziel.
Okay. So maybe Ricky's next, or Earl.
It's possible. Ray Childress, he had to wait till 2023 to be an SEC legend.
I wonder how they feel about that.
Dave Elmendorf, who played in the 60s or 70s, he went in 2017.
I can't imagine with all the awards that these guys have won that they're going to proudly display that SEC legend. You tell the grandkids, look at this trophy. Oh, Dad, the SEC is the greatest.
Now when Vince Young is doing stuff with the SEC at signing shows, he could charge more to write SEC legend on
SEC legend.
Yeah.
Dad, how was it playing in the SEC?
Well, I don't know, son.
I don't know, son. But I hear it was great.
Just don't even answer that. Says, do this national championship ring?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It was fantastic.
Still one of the best games I've ever seen.
Not one of the best.
Yeah, absolutely.
That game.
That was fantastic.
That game. He could be in he should be in the Pac-12 Legends Club.
USC Hall of Fame.
He could, well, he's there.
At least a Rose Bowl legend, because he did it the year before against Michigan, too.
He did.
Yeah.
I'm sure the Rose Bowl. Does the Rose Bowl have a Hall of Fame?
I don't know.
I know the Cotton Bowl, I don't know if it's necessarily a Hall of Fame. I'm trying to think, because they have all over the Cotton Bowl when you're walking inside the Cotton Bowl legends. You had Roger Staubach. You had all kinds of names in there from people that played in the Cotton Bowl, and obviously a lot of Texas OU types.
Right.
Yeah, the Alamo Bowl needs to do one of those. A Valero Alamo Bowl Legends.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
Rose Bowl has a Hall of Fame. Kirk Herbstreit went in last year.
Kirk Herbstreit.
Wow.
Is a broadcaster for his time at Ohio State?
Ohio State.
Maybe it's broadcasting.
Nah, Ohio State. Herbie. He was an adequate quarterback.
Adequate.
He wasn't bad.
Yeah. Jerry Jones talking today. Here, before we go to break, Mike wants to talk some Cowboys. Hey, Mike, you're on the Blitz. What's up, man? Oh, you got your hands full with those kids in the background.
Yeah, I do. But how you doing, fellas?
Good, man.
Just a quick question. You guys think that the Cowboys may take a flyer on a running back who's better than what we got, but on a team whose season's over, like, I don't know, a second-rounder for Chubb in Cleveland or like a third-rounder for Hubert in Carolina?
I don't know that the price would be that high. And I say I do think, even though Jerry keeps saying that they're not going to trade, if they can get good value on a trade, they would. They covet their draft picks too much, so I don't think it would be a second or a third, but maybe a fourth. They've got a couple of fourth-round picks. I could see them doing something along that way. I think they'll explore some things, but they're not going to overpay, especially sitting at 3-3 right now.
When's it's November 11th,
weeks,
right? Yeah, I think it's going to depend on how the next 2 weeks go. If you drop both of these games on the road and all of a sudden you're 3-5, what's the point?
Exactly.
You might be in the market for a garage sale.
But they wouldn't give up a second rounder for Chubb or anybody for that matter.
Maybe they'll get rid of Zeke. Or maybe they could trade Deuce Vaughn to somebody that needs a gadget guy.
Again, why would the other team want Deuce Vaughn?
Exactly my point. Holy cow, what the hell do the Cowboys want with that dude?
Gadget juice.
It's made for TV.
He is gadget juice.
Yeah, made for TV stuff.
Shireen Williams from Pro Football Talk joins us next on the Blitz on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
I got to tell you about Connecticut quality water softeners first before we go to break, and I'm happy to do so because I love mine. Had mine in the house now for a little while, and I love it. It is a game changer, and I didn't think that it would be. What's the difference between it? There's a huge difference in water softeners. Connecticut is the best in the business, and it is the best water softener on the market. They've been serving San Antonio and South Texas for over 50 years. All of their products are made in America, and I tell you what, it really does make a difference. I can't stress that enough. The dishes are cleaner. The clothes are cleaner. You get out of the shower feeling fantastic and clean. It's unbelievable what a Connecticut quality water softener can do. And the best thing I like about it is that you don't plug it in. It doesn't run on electricity. So obviously there's no increase in your electric bill, and there's none of those boards that you have to change out. These things are outstanding, and soft water is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And for a limited time, when you purchase a new Connecticut quality water softener, you are going to get a reverse osmosis drinking station installed right at your kitchen sink. That means you never have to buy bottled water again. You've got good water right at your kitchen sink. You talk about tasting better. The food you cook with that water is going to be fantastic. Outstanding warranty coverage. You won't find a more solid warranty in the industry. And, oh, by the way, they still have that 90-day free trial. That's right. They're going to let you try a Connecticut quality water softener for 90 days, absolutely free, no contract. And I guarantee you, once you have that thing in your house, you are not going to want to give it up. Financing is available. They also have a rental program at Connecticut. All you have to do is get the party started. Call them 656-PURE, 656-7873, or you can reach them online at ConnecticutSA.com. And you know the jingle? Sing it with me. It's the last water softener you'll ever own. Call 656-PURE, Connecticut.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Mike McCarthy goes one-on-one with the Morning Huddles, AJ and Rob, Friday mornings.
You invited Dak and Coop over to the house. What Mama cooked?
She never disappoints.
Well, what was the meal? We're really curious.
Well, she had the local pizza, salads, pasta dish, chicken.
Mike McCarthy's unfiltered look at the Cowboys' upcoming game. Friday mornings at 6:45 and 9. Presented by AA Best Bail Bonds on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hello, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio, and since 1994, I've been representing people and families seriously injured by negligent drivers. I think everyone knows that driving while using a cell phone, texting, posting videos is dangerous. Study after study shows that use of a cell phone like this is the same or worse than driving under the influence. Yet, many people insist on using their cell phones while driving. I've had many cases where my client was injured by one of these people because they chose to use their cell phone. Who are these people? You and I have both seen them, probably today. Men, women, old, young, minivan drivers, truck drivers, 18-wheeler drivers. I know this. The same person that chooses to use their cell phone while driving is the same person who will lie about it later just to avoid taking responsibility. If you choose to use a cell phone while driving and hurt someone, you'd better hope they don't call me. If you or a family member has been injured in a vehicle collision, call me. Jason Thompson, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400.
Jason Minnix here from the Blitz for Underdog Fantasy, the place to play if you're a sports fan looking to win money while watching games. I love playing the pick'em game where you choose higher or lower on player stats, especially this time of year with football. Obviously, basketball getting started, and right now, Underdog, they're running a special promo or bonus almost every single day like Profit Boost, where you can pump up your winnings in just a tap when you apply the boost to eligible entries, discounts where you'll get adjusted projections on certain player stats to give you a better chance at the win. Free picks, they're basically a sure thing. A player just has to get higher than 0.5 on that stat for that pick to win. All new users get a free pick, and it's boost over from now until October 27th. You can boost your profit on all NBA entries by 20%. Underdog is literally giving you unlimited profit boost to make basketball picks. Download the app, sign up with promo code STAR, and deposit now to get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly. That's promo code STAR at Underdog Fantasy.
Must be 18 plus and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org.
Want to feel better and look better? Been experiencing dry skin, lack of desire in life, hair loss, brain fogginess, or low libido? Men, this goes for you too. All of this can be due to imbalances with your hormones, and we can help. Just taking hormones is not the answer. With state-of-the-art testing and customized wellness plans, we balance your hormones and get you well. It's what we do. I'm Dr. Torres at the Institute for Functional Health. Call me for your free evaluation, 468-1891.
The Halloween parties at the Roof Pub have become legendary. Plan now for the biggest and best Halloween party in San Antonio this Friday. Kick off the party weekend at the 11th annual Halloween party with DJs inside the Roof Pub and Angry Elephant at 281 in Redland Road. No cover charge and a $1,000 costume contest at midnight. This is the Halloween party you don't want to miss. This Friday night, the Halloween party of the year. We'll see you at the Roo and wear a costume.
When there's work to do, ground to break, and a reputation to uphold, you need the powerful, durable Kubota RTVX, North America's #1 selling diesel utility vehicle. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $1,000. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home for Texas A&M football. Saturday afternoon at 6:30. It's a matchup between two undefeated conference opponents as the Aggies take on the LSU Tigers. Presented by Ewald Kubota and the Angry Elephant. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It is the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. Interesting day with Jerry going back on the radio up in Dallas. Not the fireworks nor the apology that I expected. Let's talk about it. Shireen Williams from Pro Football Talk joining us on the Buyers Barricades guest line. How did you think this morning went for Jerry Jones?
Yeah, I was a little surprised, like you, that there was no apology because that's his typical MO is to apologize when he sees you next. And obviously he meant what he said. So pretty interesting day, I thought. Not the fireworks, but not exactly what I expected either.
Well, I tell you what, Shireen, what I was blown away by was the fact that he didn't pull any punches with his head coach, Mike McCarthy. Listen to this.
Well, we're designing bad plays or we're designing bad concepts. The facts are that there's some of that, but there's also some of execution.
Execution. What do you think about those comments, Shireen?
Well, I know this. Jerry reads everything, and he listens to people that he respects, and Troy Aikman is obviously a guy who he respects. I think Jerry's already made a decision about what he's doing after the season. I think he made it a while ago, and I think this is just a sign that points to what that decision is. I think the Cowboys will have a new head coach after this season. The question is, who are they going to bring in? Because they're not going to go get the hot shot coordinator. So do they go get a Bill Belichick? I'm going to still be really surprised if he's the coach. But Jerry probably has some sense of who he wants as his next head coach. But to me, it's just another sign that Mike McCarthy is gone after this season. But it's also a sign of how much he reads and listens to people that he respects, and Troy is one of those people.
Shireen Williams from Pro Football Talk here on the Blitz. And you think about some of the comments that Jerry made today, and by his wording, not even being asked questions, I was surprised at how often he brought up Derrick Henry. And I don't know what the term is, Shireen, when you have buyer's remorse when you don't actually make a purchase, the FOMO or whatever the case is, but that's on Jerry. You know, and then saying that Derrick wouldn't be having a great year with our crappy team, or, you know, not his words, but I mean, it was just bizarre how much he kept bringing up Derrick Henry.
And bizarre how much he seems to have written off this season as well. I mean, they are sitting there at 3-3 with still an opportunity to win the division, and yet I felt a sense of this season's over. Let's start thinking beyond this season. You know, we're thinking about signing Micah Parsons, and we're thinking about who we're going to draft and, you know, what we're going to spend our money on for next year. You know, we knew this season was going to be a loss. That's almost how it came off to me. You know, the fact that they spent $10 million last year. Think about this. They spent $10 million last year on Tony Pollard. They could have had the best running back in the NFL for less than $8 million a year. He wanted to play here, and the Cowboys didn't even give him a look, didn't even give him consideration. And he would have had a great year here. Now, on the offensive line, is it great in Dallas? It's not great in Baltimore either. He makes runs happen, and you would have been a better football team. You would have been a better rushing football team with only one weapon out wide in CeeDee Lamb, who has not had a particularly good year because he wasn't there the entire offseason. He wasn't there in training camp. The two haven't connected this season. So you have one wide out who's competent out there. You need a running game, and they don't have that. And he would have given you that. They would have had to respect the run with Derrick Henry back there. You saw what he did in the first half. If you watched that game, he had 4 carries for 23 yards. Why is he standing on the sideline? I don't understand why he's standing on the sideline. Used him beautifully. They used him when they needed him in the second half to run the clock and turn out yards. And look what he ended up with. What do you have, 169, I think it was.
Yeah.
In the end. And just an incredible performance yet again from Derrick Henry, who, by the way, is on the pace to set the NFL's single-season record for rushing yards. So he keeps saying that all he wants, and he's probably going to be asked about it almost every week as long as Derrick Henry is doing what he's doing, and I expect that to continue. I will say this. Derrick Henry is in a much better place than he would have been signing with the Cowboys. He would have been home signing with the Cowboys because this is where he lives in the offseason, but that would have been the only good thing about it. With the Ravens, he's got an opportunity to win a Super Bowl, and he's got an opportunity to win a Super Bowl because he gives them something they haven't had.
Boy, isn't that the truth? And it makes Lamar Jackson that much better, too. So that team's you're gonna have to reckon with that team, no doubt. I want to ask you, Shireen, because we're talking about Troy Aikman and CeeDee Lamb. His comments last week about that the receivers aren't running good routes, and almost intimated that it was some of them are lazy. What did you think about those comments?
Well, I was surprised, first of all. I mean, Troy speaks his mind, so I wasn't surprised that he spoke his mind at all. But surprised that he called them lazy, and that told me something, because I'm like Jerry. Like I listen to people I respect, and I respect Troy, and I know he knows what he's talking about, and I know he's telling the truth, and I know he's seen something on film. He does his studying, unlike some other analysts out there. Troy is in the film room all week. I know he is. He's in there watching film of these teams. And he saw that, he says, when it makes sense, he was going to do the Ravens game, so he was watching Ravens film and watching their defensive film and saw the Cowboys running those routes against the Ravens. So, I put a lot of stock in anything Troy says, and when he says that, I know it to be the truth. I did chuckle last night that they were trying to Joe Buck was making a statement trying to get Troy to go in on Derrick Henry, and Troy completely ignored him on Derrick Henry. So it's kind of funny.
It was funny, and again, I mean, it's the story that won't stop because the Cowboys can't run, and Derrick Henry is having a great year, and it's just the biggest swing and a miss. Now, Mike McCarthy, historically really good coming off of a bye week. In his time with Dallas, they only lost once after a bye, and that was in overtime. San Francisco is banged up. Is this the right time for this Cowboys team, dealing with their own injuries, to go on the road and get a much-needed win over San Francisco?
Yeah, I think so. Coming off the off week and going to San Francisco, who doesn't have a lot of weapons left on offense, I think is great for the Cowboys. If they lose this one, then I have some concerns, some big concerns with the Cowboys, and I think you would say they're probably not going to win the division at this rate. But they've got an opportunity these next two games on the road to really make some hay, as they say, as the cliche goes, because I think they can win both of these games on the road. And I think they can win it pretty convincingly. I don't know that the 49ers are going to put up much of a test for the Cowboys if the Cowboys do what they need to do, what they should do. I think they'll win this game pretty handily. So that's what I expect them to do. I've been wrong this season, so sometimes my expectations they don't meet them, and we'll see. And again, if they lose this game, then I think we have even bigger questions about where they go, what they do, how they finish out the year. Do they become sellers? I mean, because they'll have a little over a week until the trade deadline, and maybe they try to trade some players and get some more draft picks, because they've talked all along about needing the draft picks because they're going to have to pay Micah Parsons after paying Dak Prescott, after paying CeeDee Lamb, after paying Trevon Diggs, after paying some other guys. So maybe they become sellers a little bit and sell some. But now I'm not saying they're going to sell Dak Prescott or CeeDee Lamb or Micah Parsons, but they do have some pieces that would help other teams. So that'll be interesting, I think, to watch too if they do lose this game.
Yeah, we were talking about that, and I think these next two games make or break the Cowboys this season. They win them, obviously they're right in the thick of things, and maybe they go out and they look for some help. But I'm with you, Shireen. I think if they lose both of these games, or I don't think both, or if they split, I think they're still going to be okay. But if they lose them both, then I think they have to become sellers.
Yeah, I agree with you completely. At that point, you're out of it. The hard part of your schedule is coming up. These are two games I think that they have to win. I agree with you, a split, they're okay, but I think they're two games that they really have to win. I guess I don't call them must-wins because I still feel like they'll be okay if they're 1-1, but they should win both of these games. And if they do, they're in good shape. They've got a chance to win the division and compete the division with Washington and the Eagles. So I think that'll be a good sign for them if they can do that. And then you're going to start getting some players back, especially defensively, who are going to help you. And I think they'll be much better defensively, which is going to help. Now, it's going to do nothing for the offense and the pieces they're missing, but you're right. If they win both, maybe they go out and get a running back or get another receiver who doesn't cost them a whole lot of draft capital.
Shireen Williams, Pro Football Talk, joining us here on the Blitz. And if you go to Pro Football Talk right now, the big headline: if Cooper Kupp is available, Matthew Stafford should be too, and the Vikings should be interested. Now, there was some rumors earlier today on Twitter from like a gambling guy, as the only place I saw that initially, that Stafford could be available and reconnect with KOC there in Minnesota. Do you think something like this could happen? I mean, I know Minnesota plays at Los Angeles Thursday night.
I don't know. I don't foresee Matthew Stafford going anywhere, but maybe the Rams decide that, we know what they said about draft picks after they won the Super Bowl, but maybe they decide that that's the way to rebuild this team is to start over and play for a high draft pick to go get a quarterback to start over with. And if that's the case, then yeah, you absolutely become sellers and take what you can get for Cooper Kupp and for Matthew Stafford. And, you keep some of the other guys. Puka Nacua is he's not going anywhere. He's still on his rookie contract and coming back from that injury. And then the guys they drafted like Kobe Turner last year, they're not going to part with them. So you still got some good parts to build around, but if that's what you've decided, and you want to tank the rest of this year, that's a good way to do it and get you a high draft pick to draft you a quarterback to get ready to rebuild.
Shireen, if
now,
that...
I'll say this.
Go ahead.
I'll say this, though. Who are the quarterbacks out there that you think that you can go get who look like super? Like last year, we felt pretty good about Jaden Daniels. We felt pretty good about Caleb Williams. You know, maybe Drake May. You know, he's been okay in 2 starts. I don't look at this quarterback class, the Quinn Ewers and Carson Beck, and I don't look at any of these guys and go, oh, he's the guy. We go draft him and bring him in. It's going to rebuild our team right away. And guess what? Shedeur Sanders is going where Shedeur Sanders wants to go. He's not going to – it doesn't matter if you have the top pick. If you're the Browns and have the top pick, he's probably going to say, look, don't even bother drafting me because I'm not going to your team, period, end of story. He's definitely going to pull Eli. So you don't even have that choice. So who are the quarterbacks that you've seen in college football? I like Cam Ward, but – you know, I don't know. Like, there's no guy out there for me that I just go, oh, I need to tank to get this guy.
Yeah, I think that's it. Although Shedeur might fit in L.A., who knows? Maybe that's something. I just going to ask you really quickly, though, Shireen. What if the Rams in Minnesota make that move? What does that say about Sam Darnold? Do they just not have any faith in him at all?
Well, that's the thing, and that's the reason I don't think they make the move. He's been good for them. He's done what they've needed him to do. He's been perfect in that offense. So, you know, they have 1 loss, and he didn't play very well, but they have 1 loss. So I just don't see them moving on from Sam Darnold. I think KOC knows he can win with Sam Darnold, and I think that's what they end up doing. I think they end up staying put and seeing what they can get out of Sam Darnold and how far they can go in the postseason. NFC is winnable. It's very winnable. Despite how he played, they had a chance to win that game against the Lions, and you start looking at 49ers injuries and all that, Washington's played great. Are you scared of a rookie quarterback in the postseason? I don't think so. So there's not a ton of teams out there. The Packers, they're all in your division. You get a chance to play them, but they've got as good a chance as anybody right now to win the NFC.
It's going to be interesting for sure to see how it all plays out as the trade deadline looms. Make sure you're following Shireen Williams on Twitter at NFL Shireen. Read her there at Pro Football Talk. Shireen, always appreciate your knowledge and insight.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate it. The great Shireen Williams on the Buyers Barricades guest line, where they provide traffic control, rental, and sales for San Antonio and beyond online at buyersbarricades.com. I'd have to look at the timing of everything, but almost like Sark pulling Quinn in the game, and everybody said, well, you know, he was on the staff at Alabama when they pulled the quarterback in a national championship game. I'm not sure if Kevin was on the staff with the Rams when they decided, you know, Jared Goff, you're good. You took us to a Super Bowl, but we're moving you on. But I mean, I could see KOC, if they think they could do more with a Matt Stafford, wouldn't you make that move, especially if you don't have that true belief that Sam Darnold's been really good to this point, but is he a guy in those meetings and in that room, can you lead us to a Super Bowl?
Boy, that would sure be rolling the dice, wouldn't it, if you're the Minnesota Vikings, just simply because Darnold's played well, and if Stafford comes in and doesn't play as well, yeah, that could be an issue. So it's a roll of the dice either way. But
are you all in, or are you Jerry Jones?
I don't know. I'd take Sam Darnold right now and his salary with the Dallas Cowboys. Why not?
Well, again, if you're Minnesota, though, do you trade? And again, Sam Darnold, capable backup if he were to lose that job to Matt Stafford. And again, I don't know how many years Matt Stafford has left. Sam Darnold's on a 1-year deal in Minnesota.
Absolutely.
And he's making himself a boatload of money. They've got J.J. McCarthy, so is he really long for Minnesota?
No.
In other words, are the Vikings really worried about hurting his feelings if they make a trade for an upgrade?
Perhaps not. And if you can get a Stafford, why not? Why not? We'll see what happens. Hey, I want to tell you about Stevens Roofing, though, before we go to a break, because, you know, I've been talking about Stevens Roofing for a long time. I'm really proud to do so. Family-owned company, local company, and I tell you what, they're just the best in the business. There really is no comparison. And for a roofer, you want a good one that you can trust, because your roof covers everything that you hold dear, your family, all your valuables, all of that stuff. Stevens Roofing is that roofer that you can trust, and it doesn't matter what kind of project you have. Commercial project, well, Stevens Roofing can do that. You want a metal roof on your house, Stevens Roofing can do that. They're licensed by the city of San Antonio. Estimates are always free when you call them at 210-785-0994. And if you're like me and just about everybody else on the planet, you want to save some money and you've been thinking about going solar, well, Stevens Roofing can help you there as well. And solar panels are increasingly affordable. They can save you money on your monthly utility bills. They'll often increase the value of your home. There are even options to keep the lights on if the grid goes down. That's important. Stevens has a team of certified experts who will deliver solar solutions tailored to your specific needs. So for roofing or for solar, call the local company that's been trusted for decades. Call Stevens Roofing, 210-785-0994. Stevens Roofing has your family covered. Give them a call, 210-785-0994.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Wednesday on the Morning Huddle, we got NBA to talk about. We'll look back at your world champions and midweek college football. Does it get any better? Can it get worse? All that and more started at 6.
It's the Morning Huddle with A.J. Hoffman and Rob Thompson. Mornings 6 to 10 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
If you're a man and you live in or around the San Antonio area, you need to listen to this message. Do you find yourself stressing about or even avoiding intimate moments? Do you find yourself thinking, is it going to work? Does your partner look at you and ask, is it me? Did I do something wrong? Do you get frustrated when things don't live up to their expectations? Men, you're not alone, and we have a solution. For over a decade, Mojo has delivered 100% guaranteed male performance results. Mojo truly works every single time. Guys, Mojo works when all other things fail, and its proprietary formula has helped thousands of men live their best lives again. Yeah! Mojo is 100% natural, blood pressure safe, diabetic friendly, and fast acting. And Mojo is now available in both spray and capsule formulas, exclusively at Pure Line Nutrition. Call Pure Line Nutrition in San Antonio today at 210-494-2210. That's Pure Line Nutrition, 210-494-2210.
Hi, my name is Jason Thompson. I'm an attorney here in San Antonio representing people and families who've been injured in traffic collisions since 1994. The reason it's important to call me as soon as possible is the number of tricks and mistakes you can make, even up to talking to insurance companies, which I'm going to tell you not to do. And also some of the billing practices at our local hospitals. And over the last year, I've seen more and more of this, where hospitals are asking patients to assign benefits they do not have to assign, all in an effort to get more money to the hospital than they would receive if all you used was your health insurance. When you call, I will give you your options. We'll talk about your case. And all of that is free of charge. If you or a family member has been injured in a traffic accident, whether car, commercial truck, motorcycle, I want you to call me as soon as possible after the collision. My number, 210-900-0400. That's 210-900-0400. Or go to my website at alawyerforus.com.
Jake from State Farm. I'm winning. I finally cleaned my house, so I'm breaking out my new tropical room spray.
Keep winning and create an affordable price just for you by bundling your home and auto with the State Farm Personal Price Plan. It's like your own personal paradise.
Ooh, hey, grab me a coconut water.
Bundling, just another way to save with a personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Joel, don't you just love Halloween?
It's okay, but I do like your troll costume.
I'm not wearing a costume.
Folks, if your home's AC starts making those witching sounds or the pipes in your wall start moaning and clanging like ghosts having a party, call Quarter Moon at 651-5899, and we'll send our team of highly trained
Ghostbusters!
I was gonna say technicians.
I ain't afraid of no clogs.
Quarter Moon Plumbing and AC, 651-5899. License number TACLA 141074E M16004.
Shop Macy's lowest prices of the fall today. For the season's best prices on what you need now. Save 40 to 60% on new styles to get you ready for cooler temps. like cozy coats for your crew, the perfect sweaters for layering, and more fall wardrobe updates. Plus, don't miss amazing specials for you and your home. So good, they won't last. At Macy's.
Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
Purchase new wiper blades from O'Reilly Auto Parts today and we'll install them for free. See better and drive safer with O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Buyers Barricades is proud to provide traffic control, rental, and sales for work zones and events in the San Antonio area and beyond. Buyers Barricades, the Texas authority in barricade rental. Learn more online at buyersbarricades.com. That's buyersbarricades.com.
94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, South Texas home of the NFL. Monday night, Thursday night, and Sunday night football. Presented locally by Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz here on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Maybe you're watching on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the San Antonio Sports Star YouTube channel. He's Joe Reinagel. I'm Jason Minnix. Speaking of YouTube, you know, we've got those replica World Series rings to give away.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do right now, if you're on YouTube, just comment, "I want one." And and James Pledger is going to look at all those comments between now, 5:44, and 6 o'clock. And pick one. What he does, he'll take all the names, put them in a little thing, and it spins the wheel, and boom, we'll pick a name, and then you got to call James because we don't have your contact there. So we'll do it at, I don't know. Well, just write "I want one," and we'll figure out how to get it to you. I don't know.
Yeah, don't make it too hard.
Well, Pledge doesn't have a show tonight. No extra innings with Pledge. It's going to be a regular season day because we got the Cowboys Hour.
That's right.
Coming up. And Brandon Aubrey is the guest.
Best player on the team.
He really is the best player on the team. But, you figure, all right, you're Brad Cham. Who can we get today? A couple weeks after bad loss, they had a punter. This week, coming off a bye, who's around? That kicker dude.
Yeah, Brandon's around. He's got nothing else to do.
That's it.
Went and kicked his 20 balls, and he was done.
20?
Yeah.
I think it's probably more than 20.
You think so?
Probably.
Guy doesn't need to kick footballs.
He probably kicks quite a few of them. All the time. That's what he does. It's like reading that Bates guy, the kicker for Detroit, of course, was in the UFL last year.
Uh-huh.
He was a brick salesman 18 months ago.
I love that.
You're selling bricks?
Well, sure. It's probably big business.
Probably.
Right? I mean, if all the houses that are going up, got to have bricks.
Got to have bricks. Just out of college. Yeah, y'all saying go kick rocks. He was
really Texas State guy, huh? Pledge just put that up on the board.
Bates was?
Well, how about that? Smart guy.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Did he actually play at Texas State? Or he just went to San Marcos?
He ended up going to Texas State, yeah.
Did he play football?
I double-checked it because I saw it elsewhere, and I went to his profile to see, and, yeah, he was at Texas State.
He played there.
Or he kicked there. I'm not sure if you call that playing.
Stop. He was on the team. He was on the team. On the team.
Right.
That's what it. There's a couple of things, and you guys listening to us all the time, you know this, all the regulars. There are things that I like to do that I know that are going to make Joe's head explode.
Yeah.
Right? There are just things that I know if I bring this up, Reinagel's head's going to explode. I'm not going to do that for you right now because there's other things that I know that if Joe sees, he can't help himself and he's just going to laugh his ass off.
I'm emotional, all right? Passionate.
Emotional.
Passionate.
Passionate, you say. Joe loves good fart stories.
I like this one.
There is something about a fart that gets Reinagel going.
Yeah. Well,
and there is a very bizarre fart story in New York. Guy got fined $1,000 because of a smell. And he's trying to say, the city inspector, it's not animal waste in the building. The inspector must have got crop dusted by some guy walking down the hall. He still got fined $1,000.
Well, I think this guy's got gas problems.
Wow.
Because the other tenants were like complaining about it. That this guy's got some smelly farts. I mean, really bad, that are seeping out, and they don't just go away. So they seep out into the hallway. They thought there were dead animals in there.
A fine of $1,000. And the guy's like, oh, there's not dead animals. It's not animal waste. It's a tenant in 4B, man. He's got bad gas.
Yeah, he's bad.
Yeah.
That dude. Better check his drawers.
He needs to go see a doctor. Of course, Dr. Jeffrey Schroff probably wouldn't want to deal with that because he's an ortho type. Time for our injury update. Powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at TSAOG.com. Dr. Schroff, you ever had to deal with anything like that?
No, I can't say that I have.
Thank goodness, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's why I chose orthopedics, so I wouldn't have to deal with things like that.
I was going to say that one day in medical school, you were thinking one thing and you went, man, it stinks in there. I got to go over here. Ortho is far better, right?
Right. That's basically how it goes. Yeah.
No doubt about it. Horrible injury last night, Doc. Was it Godwin who just, I guess, dislocated his ankle? The thing was turned all the way around, and they're going to have to do surgery, and obviously he's done for the year. I can only imagine when your ankle is dislocated like that and turned all the way around, the damage that must be done inside. Is there a lot of damage when that happens?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, his injury, we classify ankle fractures, based on, or a lot of the times, which direction the ankle rotates. His was more of an external rotation injury. And so, yeah, it's likely that he fractured bones on both sides of his ankle and the joint was dislocated. The external rotation type of injuries also usually involve the ligaments that connect the fibula to the tibia, so that's called the syndesmosis. So, yeah, definitely something that needs surgery and pretty prolonged healing time for something like that. But believe it or not, people generally do pretty well with them, and hopefully we'll be able to get back. But yeah, probably season ending for him at least.
Yeah, well, and you think about that game last night for Tampa Bay. Mike Evans came in nursing a hamstring injury, apparently made it a little bit worse. And, you see guys all the time trying to push through an injury and, or a high ankle sprain. When you saw Mike Evans playing and trying to fight through it and watching the game last night, just as a doc, were you thinking it's not a good idea for him to be out there? And then obviously proved to be the fact. They probably shouldn't have been out there.
Yeah, I mean, it's always tough. That's always the kind of the art to sports medicine is kind of evaluating a guy like that with an injury like a hamstring. It is something you can theoretically play through, but like you said, if you go back too early or you're just not 100% recovered, it does put you at risk for re-injuring that area, which then can number one make the injury worse in general, and then just prolongs your recovery and makes it harder getting back. So hamstring injuries can be tough. A lot of people can kind of be dogged by them for a long period of time. So I think it probably just needs to be sure to take the time to really get it completely healed and really, before he jumps back into things. There's not much in terms of like surgery for hamstring injuries. There's a lot of work that's being done in terms of like biologics and injections and things like that can help, but really it's just something that needs appropriate rest usually.
All right, Doc, I need an education here because Deshaun Watson, obviously a ruptured Achilles, but there's a story out that he has two options. One is the conventional surgery, and then the other is a newer speed bridge procedure. What is that?
So it's essentially it's a newer technique. I mean, the principles of the surgery are still the same. You know, you're basically putting the two ends of the torn tendon back together so that they can heal. Most Achilles injuries, interesting enough, will heal even without surgery, and a lot of guys, like older patients of mine, I'll talk to them about the pros and cons of surgery, and a lot of people we end up treating non-surgically because they will heal. The issue is the tension of the Achilles that it heals at, and so for a top-level athlete, you really want to make sure that you get a good amount of tension back to the Achilles, because that gives them that explosive kind of power, running, speed, and agility. And so the speed bridge is just a different technique where they use suture anchors to kind of support the repair. So theoretically, it offers increased strength to the repair, so it may allow an earlier rehabilitation or more aggressive rehab. That's what Aaron Rodgers had, and he seems to have done well with his rehab. So there's a lot of talk about it, and or I guess a lot of excitement about it. But the principle is still the same. It's, you know, putting the two ends together. It's just a little bit stronger of a repair.
Dr. Jeffrey Schroff joining us here for our injury update on the Blitz. Micah Parsons, real quick. Seen, according to some, limping at the facility today, coming off the high ankle sprain. Jerry Jones said game time decision. Realistically, do you think that Micah would be ready to go this Sunday against San Francisco?
It's tough. If he's limping at this stage, then, you know, just a week or so for a high ankle, that's probably optimistic. You know, it can be, high ankle sprains can kind of come in different grades, and so some people can bounce back fairly quick, but in general, as opposed to like just your standard run-of-the-mill ankle sprain, high ankle sprains do take a little bit longer to recover from. So I think it's optimistic to say he might play, or at this point, he probably needs a little bit more time.
I'm going to say he's out. I appreciate it. Dr. Jeffrey Schroff, always appreciate the knowledge and insight, the injury update. Powered by the Sports Institute at TSAOG Orthopedics and Spine, online at tsaog.com.
I love the doc's explanation that, you know, Aaron Rodgers had the same surgery and looks like he's doing okay. They must have done something to his arm while he was under, huh? Because he can't throw anymore.
I think a combination. He's back sooner, but is he close to 100% versus, you know, you look at Kirk Cousins. He didn't do the speed option, but also struggling. I think sometimes just coming off of injury. Brandon Aubrey will be the guest coming up on the Cowboys Hour.
Yeah, he did something to his arm. Father time, baby.
Speaking of father, you got father-son basketball tonight.
Yay!
We'll see you guys tomorrow at 2.
From the San Antonio Sports Star Studios, sponsored by George Salinas Injury Lawyers. This is KTFM Floresville. The Morning Huddle.
When I was in Houston, I said, radio listeners will call in to win anything. And I said, we're giving away an STD. Caller number 7 is going to win chlamydia. And chlamydia! You saw all... We had 8 phone lines. They all just lit up.
They wanted to know who they were going to catch it from.
That's right.
You know, I'll take up an STD if it's from the right source.
The Morning Huddle with AJ and Rob. Weekday mornings 6 to 10. 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
When there's work to do, ground to break, and a reputation to uphold, you need the powerful, durable Kubota RTVX, North America's #1 selling diesel utility vehicle. Right now, bring home select Kubota equipment for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 60 months or save up to $1,000. Now through December 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
From the Gulf of Mexico to the hill country of Texas, Ewald Kubota is your Kubota dealer.
Meet Cheryl. Hey. She's on vacation and lost in the moment. Unfortunately, so is her Chase debit card.
It's gotta be somewhere.
Maybe she lost it at salsa night.
These skirts should have pockets.
Or maybe she lost it at Pilates.
3 and 2 and...
But she's not worried. With the Chase mobile app, she can lock her card till it turns up. Tools that help protect. One bank that puts you in control. Visit chase.com/checking. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
At the Home Depot, we know you can't control everything. Like when your guests arrive too early for Saturday college football. But you can control your grill. With the Traeger Timberline XL, you can watch the game, not the grill. Monitor your football feast from anywhere using the Traeger app. With the Timberline XL, you can bake, smoke, sear, fry, and sauté. That's Desmond Howard level versatility.
Huddle up, the food's done.
Defend your game time with Traeger and the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
You okay?
Sorry, I can't sleep with this cough.
Sounds like you need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with NyQuil VapoCool. It's NyQuil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
So you ready to get some sleep? Thank you, NyQuil VapoCool.
NyQuil VapoCool, the vaporizing nighttime coughing, aching, fever, best sleep with a cold medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Smoky Moe's